You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 yo. What it do, what it do. Good, great, grand afternoon to you wonderful, beautiful people out there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hermanos, mi hermanas, ladies and lads, brethren and sisters, and kings and queens and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. Boy, I got a show for y'all today. We gonna talk today. Oh my goodness, we are going to talk today. You feel me? Got some couple things to talk about on the agenda, man. From Shakur Stevenson to Gervonta Tank Davis to Lamont Rose to Pitbull Cruz to Richardson Hitchens to gosh dang Job Ataya. You know, we got some things to talk about, chap. The Terrence Bud Crawford, Lord, is about to get hot. It's about to get hot. It's about to get hot, man. So hopefully you get you a nice cool drink. My drink of preference is that water. You know what I'm saying? Nature's own juice. You know what I'm saying? But get you something, kick back, and let's kick it, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's chill for a little bit. Hit this roll call. We got Smoochie in the building. One time for the ladies. Yeah, man. We also have my brother TSO Bodega Ty in our building. Big member in our building, Mr. PhD in Boxing Talk. Let's get right. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Bodega. You feel me? But look, so, all right. So don't forget to smack that like button, all good things and bonbons. You know what I'm talking about? Check this out, though, man. So we're going to start off with Richardson Hitchens. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and say our prayers like we always do. So please join me. You bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for bringing us into this Monday. You know, we asked you yesterday, Sunday, to guide us for the rest of this week with your blessings. And this is a lot of us consider this the beginning of the week because it's the beginning of the workday. So please let us go into this week with patience, with understanding, with calm, with kindness, and just try our best not to act impulsively unless that impulse is to do something positive. Please let us reflect what you have taught us. Let our actions, let our thoughts, let our intentions reflect goodness, and let us be a pillar of strength and kindness and hope for those that need it. Let us give others something to smile about. Let's make the world a little brighter with our presence and our aura. So we thank you, Lord, for your blessings. We ask you for health, health spiritually, health financially, health physically, health emotionally, internally and externally. Lord, we just ask you for your strength to keep us going throughout this week and beyond. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen, amen. Let's get right. Let's get right. Let's go, man. We have Kumar Lee Josephs in the building. What's good, Kumar? He says, Doc, when India gets on the map, it's already on the map, man. I'm looking out for you. You know what I'm saying? I know some Indian boxers out there doing their thing, man. Shout out to them. He said, we are taking over. Hey, he said, when India gets on the map, we are taking over. Goodbye, Turkey. Hello, and Bonnie. Get your passport and get ready for the fights in New Delhi. Hey, man, sign me up, man. I'll be out there. You feel me? I got my Punjab movies and stuff ready. You know what I'm saying? My Bollywood movies, my Punjabi music. I'm good, bro. I'm already on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm already on the train, man. I got love for everybody, so I'm good everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to say, hey, where my brother Kumar at, man? I'm going to need a escort around the city. You feel me? Shout out to my brother Oscar Perez, mi hermano Carnal in the building. Shout out to my brother George the Last Dragon Born in the building. Ty says Shakur got until December to address Oshaki. Talk to him. But before we address Oshaki, we gonna talk about this man Richardson Hitchens. Shout out to my brother Tyson Richardson. Better tell Keith Connolly to patch things up with Eddie Hearn. He better do something because he looking shaky, baby. He looking real shaky, baby. But look, check this out though, man. So Richardson Hitchens, I've been seeing some things about Richardson Hitchens' potential next fight. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. I've been seeing a couple names out there, and one name in particular is Jermaine Ortiz, and I like that fight. I don't think anything's wrong with that fight. However, I don't like the fact that Hitchens has been seemingly, I don't want to say ducking because it's not quite a duck yet, but he hasn't really been embracing the call outs of guys that I feel he should be embracing, like Gary Antoine Russell, who is going to fight Andy Hiroka, but Gary Antoine Russell said, hey, let's run it. It's a unification fight, bro. But Richardson Hitchens told Gary Antoine Russell, you're not ready for me. Get your weight up. Get your weight up. He said, Gary Antoine Russell, he told him to get his name up and his weight up.
What?
And then I'm like, okay, bet, whatever. That's one, But Matias ran down on him, and Matias has a fight with Dalton Smith. Now, Matias is looking a little shaky because of PED, right? He's on probation. I'm cool. Richardson Hitchens not really addressing him because of the circumstances involved, but he is a WBC champion, so you should at least hear him out. But he's like, nah, I'm not ready for that right now.
What?
And then, there's a guy named Frank the Ghost Martin who came back and looked spectacular against Rances Barthélemy. I know Rances Barthélemy's 39, but considering the circumstances, Frank Martin, we haven't seen him in a while. He's been on a little hiatus. He had a long little layoff after suffering his first loss by stoppage in devastating fashion to Gervonta Tank Davis. But so given those circumstances, plus the fact that he just had a new coach, when Buddy McGirt switched from Derek James, I think all things considered, this is a good win with Rances Barthélemy, and he has a knockout of the year nominee, right? He's definitely a candidate for knockout of the year. But Frank Martin said, hey, I want Richardson Hitchens. And Richardson Hitchens says that he doesn't know why he's getting called out by Frank Martin. He's essentially saying that he's undeserving.
What?
So I'm just like, I don't really know what Richardson Hitchens wants to do, but I like Richardson Hitchens, the IBF Haitian American champion, right? And so because I like him, I'm like, okay, bet, maybe we could go ahead and send him to a place where the champions don't necessarily have to fight anybody. They could just sit back and cool in the sun with a couple drinks and be all right. You see what I'm saying? And maybe get a little tan and chill with Edgar Berlanga. So we're going to send him off to the place where champions don't have to fight anybody or acknowledge any call outs.
She thought I was going to send her somewhere nice? You're not going to the beach. Bitch, you're going to hell.
Straight to hell. We sending them straight to hell, bro. You ain't got to worry. You ain't gotta worry about defending no titles. You ain't gotta worry about no other champions down there. You ain't gotta worry about nothing, bro. No promoters blocking you or blackballing you. Ain't gotta worry about nothing, bro. We said you straight to hell, bro. So with that being said, I'm done with Richards and Hitchens, man. Until he fights somebody, man. It's just really getting. It's getting annoying, bro. Like, you can't be like, you should. It's a compliment that people want to call you out. It's you should be flattered, because that means people want your position, bro. I'm not saying that you have to fight everybody. Of course, it should make dollars and make sense. But at the same time, you can't not fight nobody. You have to fight somebody, bro. Like, I understand you want Teofimo, but Teofimo is occupied. Teofimo is fighting Shakur, right? And you just fought George Kambosos, which is Teofimo scraps. No disrespect. I mean, Kambosos beat Teofimo, but I'm saying he's a former opponent of Teofimo. I shouldn't say his scraps because he beat Teofimo. But the point that I'm making is that he's trying to fight somebody to get Teofimo into the ring with him, and I'm not mad at that. That's a good little tactic. That's a good methodology, and and a good procedure to employ. But Teofimo has a fight with Shakur coming up, bro. Like, so in light of that, he's saying that, well, like I said, it's a rumor, but it's heavily speculated that he could be fighting Jermaine Ortiz next. And I like Jermaine Ortiz, but his fight against Teofimo was, that was straight up garbage.
Know your fucking place, trash.
And I'm not saying that to be rude, but that fight was garbage. It's not just Jermaine Ortiz's fault, it's Teofimo's fault as well. They both put on a terrible performance, right? So it's a terrible performance for both of them. But, I do think it'll be a good fight, depending on what kind of Jermaine Ortiz we see. If we see Jermaine Ortiz, the same one that fought Lomachenko, hey, that should be a great fight. But it just, once again, it seems like it just doesn't make sense. Richards and Hitchens, you don't want to entertain a unification with the WBA champion, Gary Anton Russell. You don't want to entertain Frank Martin, but you seemingly would entertain Jermaine Ortiz and some other guys that are arguably of lesser status. And when I say status, lesser as far as popularity status, lesser profile than Frank Martin and Gary Anton Russell. And plus, Gary Anton Russell comes with a belt. Jermaine Ortiz doesn't. So, but like I said, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's like, now it just seems like he's chasing Teo scraps. And I don't know, man. He just wants to fight Teo, but Teo is occupied right now. If he's fighting Shakur, then you just got to chill out, man. He's fighting Shakur, and then there's no telling that he'll fight you anyway, because let's face it, if Teofimo beats Shakur, which I think that Shakur would win, but that's a close fight. I think it's relatively, I wouldn't say 50-50, but it's a close fight, as far as who you're going with. I'm going with Shakur. But let's say Teofimo wins. There's no guarantee that Teofimo will fight Richards Hitchens either, because he's notorious. He's another one that doesn't want to fight anybody. You see what I'm saying? But if he does fight Shakur, which I'm still skeptical because of Teofimo doesn't want to fight anybody, I have to give him credit for fighting Shakur. But like I said, I'm just not sure, because Teofimo has a long history of calling out Brian Norman, then not fighting him. Calling out Boots Ennis and not fighting him. Saying he'll get an offer Keyshawn Davis and say he's about that life and then not fighting him. Calling out Devin Haney, getting offered for him by Turkey Al-Sheikh, not fighting him. You see what I'm saying? So there's Terrence Crawford, call him out, not fighting him. Now, if you want to say, oh, that's not his fault, whatever, I don't care whose fault it is. The fact he's not fighting him. Subra Matias, not fighting him. You see what I'm saying? So it's just, there's just so, Liam Paro wanted to fight Teofimo, didn't fight him. So it's just so many instances of him fighting guys that we would like to see, and then just it not materializing for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not really sold. But let's say Teofimo does beat Shakur, I would like to hope that he would go for a unification, right? Because who wouldn't want to see Teofimo versus the winner of Dalton Smith and Subra Matias, preferably Subra Matias? Who wouldn't want to see Teofimo versus the winner of Gary Anton Russell and Andy Hiroka, preferably Gary Anton Russell? Who wouldn't want to see Teofimo versus Hitchens for an all New York showdown? You know what I'm saying? Between Richard Hitchens and Teofimo Lopez, a Honduran American. So I think there's great fights in the horizon at 140. I always said that 140 to me is the second best division after 154 as far as depth goes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. But Teofimo has to get by Shakur, and I'm just not sure he does. But speaking of getting by Shakur, this is where I want to transition to the next topic, which is the main topic. Mr. Shakur, I don't like Tank, but I'm going to pull a Tank and do what Tank did to me. Stevenson. You see what I'm saying? But before we transition to that, let's see what the people have to say in the chat about Richardson Hitchens not seeming like he doesn't want to fight anybody. Let's see what the chat's saying. He's saying, Ty said, yes, sir. He said Shakur got till December to address Shakur Foster. He said Richardson Hitchens better tell Keith Connolly to pass things up with Eddie Hearn. I agree with that. Miami Varus says Richardson Hitchens. Well, he says he thinks he's bigger than what he is. I think he's talking about Richardson Hitchens. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that, like I said, there's nothing wrong with thinking you are deserving of stuff, but I agree with you. He's seeming like he's thinking he's bigger than what he is, but he's a star. He's a. I will say that Richardson is a star in the making. He's not as big of a star as, like, you know, other top American fighters or his counterparts. Right? He's not as big as Gervonta Davis. He's not as big as Devin Haney. He's not as big as, I hate to say it, but he's not as big as Ryan Garcia. Unfortunately, which he should be. Hell, he's not as big as Mario Barrios. He's not as big as Teofimo Lopez. He's not as big as Richard Hitchens is a champion, but man, I could argue that he may not even be as big as Frank Martin. I mean, they might be about the same. You know, I definitely don't think he's as big as Keyshawn Davis. So, you know, but I do think that I don't think there's anything wrong with him demanding bigger fights and big fights, but I don't know what he considers a big fight. Like, to me, a big fight is Gary Hunter Russell for unification. Any unification is a big fight. So I don't really understand that. But if he's saying, like, oh, yeah, he thinks he's as big as Shakur and Teofimo and Gervonta, like, he wilding. But he could get there. But the way to get there is to fight guys like Gary Hunter Russell and Subra Matias and, you know, assuming that he's clear, because he stumbled and fell on PEDs too, you know, which I don't rock with either, but it was under the limit. So shout out to that. But yeah, you can't think that you're bigger than Frank Martin. And when you never shared the ring with a guy as big as Frank Martin did with Gervonta Tank Davis, right? Frank Martin has a higher, even though he lost, he still has a higher quality opponent than Richardson Hitchens, right? Well known too, you know. Richardson Hitchens' best win is obviously Liam Paro, but his biggest name is probably George Kambosos. You know what I'm saying? So Frank Martin shared the ring with Gervonta Tank Davis, you know, and yeah. So I don't know, man. I just think it's kind of crazy, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Oscar Perez says Richardson don't want to fight. He wants to grab ass. He said Richardson Hitchens don't want to fight. He want to grab ass with Berlanga. I agree. That's what it's looking like, man. You saw when they were in the water, man. They was in the water doing a little dance, man. They was out there looking like a freaky dog. Speaking of freaky dogs.
And I can make it rain with my hurricane tongue like
I can make it rain with my hurricane tongue. Shout out to Pitbull. Oh, freaky dog. A freaky Pitbull, boy. Oh, man. You know, hey, chat, you know we got to add to it, man. You know we got to add to the animations, chat. You know we got to add to it. But yeah, so let's move on to the to Shakur, man. Oscar says, well, now the tables turned for Shakur. Yes, now the tables have turned on Shakur.
Yeah.
Either fight your mandatory,
Yeah.
or move up.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar?
Yeah.
Devin Haney situation.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So, but even with that though, Shakur is he pulling a tank with Foster? I'm gonna be honest, you know. I think that's a valid point, and that's what we're gonna talk about, right? I do think it's a valid point to look at Shakur and be like, hold on, bruh. You don't want to fight Shakur Foster when he's calling you out, and you're saying that you're the big dog. He's saying, oh, well, the rabbit has the gun. He has even went as far to say that the belts don't matter. And coincidentally, his sensei, if you will, his big bro, Terrence Crawford, just said the same thing. And he just said that he'll drop the belt because he only wants big fights. He doesn't care if he's a mandatory. I just think that's, like I said, I think it's a valid point, and I think it sounds corny. You know, I always think Shakur's a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? As far as like some of his antics, I always thought he was kind of like a Mr. Me Too type of person. Like, doesn't really have his own personality. He'll just follow the trend. You see what I'm saying? But he's a good fighter, and that's what I like it for. So I can see past that stuff. However, I will say this though, even though those are valid points, it doesn't matter because Shakur Foster is the mandatory, right? He just won the mandatory He just won the interim WBC belt at 135. You know, compliments to Stephen Fulton. He should really thank Stephen Fulton. So he's really in the position, Oshiki Foster, to fight Shakur Stevenson, whether he wants to or not. You know, so whether he's trying to pull a Gervonta Tank Davis or not. As far as Gervonta Tank Davis not fighting Shakur, like everything that he complained about Gervonta doing to Shakur, to him is what Shakur is doing to Oshiki Foster right now. So I think those are valid points. But I will say this to defend Shakur. I do agree with him. I don't think there's a reason to fight Oshiki Foster, especially when you're about to fight. Obviously, you're about to fight Tio, but if you could fight Tio, then maybe you could. And if you beat Tio, maybe there's bigger and better fights than Oshiki Foster. Oshiki Foster is not a big name, so I don't think it's quite the same. But I do think it's very similar enough to where if somebody made that argument, I wouldn't argue with them. You see what I'm saying? Because it is very similar. It's eerily similar. So while I disagree with it, because I don't think, you know what I'm saying, with Shakur and Gervonta was a big name, you know, and you could say Shakur is a bigger name compared to Oshiki Foster, but I don't think Oshiki Foster is to the level that Shakur is either, because Shakur did beat guys like Oscar Valdez. You see what I'm saying? He did beat a guy like William Zepeda. Stephen Fulton is a good win for Oshiki Foster, but you know, it's a victim. He's a victim, if you want to, if you will, of his own division. You know, 130 is just not a real popular division. People don't really pay attention like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't even know Lamont Roach was a 130-pound champion. You see what I'm saying? So unfortunately for Oshiki Foster, I don't think anybody will demand that fight, but he's doing all the right things. He's talking. He backed up what he's talking. He's backed up his words as well when he smoked on Stephen Fulton. Man, I picked Foster to win. I didn't know he was gonna win like that. That was super impressive, man. He washed Stephen Fulton. So, but even with that, still, a lot of people look at Stephen Fulton as a smaller guy, even though he came in overweight, right? He missed weight and came in above the weight when he was moving up. People still see him as a smaller guy. So I don't think people are going to give him that much real respect for the win. And that's unfortunate for Oshiki Foster. So, but with that being said, he is a mandatory, and I think that he will get that fight. But the only way he won't get it is if Shakur drops the belt. And he could drop the belt because, you know, it's a WBC belt, and, you know, Bud just said belts don't matter. But I don't think, of course the belts matter. I don't think Shakur is at the level to where the belts don't matter. You see what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, he's close, but I think the belts don't matter only for a select few fighters. And I think those few fighters are Saul Canelo Alvarez, right, aka Cinnamon, Anthony Joshua, Gervonta Tank Davis, and Terrence Bud Crawford. That's really about it. The belt should always matter for everybody else. Now, I understand WBC is full of crap. Don't get me wrong, because that move that they did to make Stephen Fulton even be eligible for a belt after blowing weight, make him eligible for an interim belt in a weight class that he has never fought in. Even when he moved up, that was a weight class above the one that he was currently fighting in. After moving up, that was trash. That was weak. That was a straight money grab because Stephen Fulton missed weight in the first place. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't blame him for feeling that way, but I don't know, like, you know, maybe because he always said that if he beats Teofimo, or when he beats Teofimo, what did he say? He said he's not gonna stay at 140, right? And he said, and I quote, Keyshawn Davis could have that belt, meaning that he's gonna vacate after he beats Tio, if he beats Tio, and go back to 135, because he said, I want to stay at 135. So you would assume that you would want to keep your 135 belt, right? But he's saying that, hey, you know, unless, I mean, things change, right? So that was what he said back then. Maybe he might decide to stay if he beats Tio and be the WBO belt holder. Then, you know what I'm saying, then you can't really say much. But then that poses the question of what's up with Keyshawn Davis. You going to fight Keyshawn Davis, or Keyshawn Davis is just going to go another route instead of the WBO? Because remember, he was a WBO belt holder at 135 as well. So, you know, we'll see how that goes, man. So there's a lot of interesting scenarios, but I will say this. I don't like the fact that he's saying, oh, I'm not going to fight Oshiki Foster, or Oshiki Foster should go fight Ray Ford. He tried to put the Foster fight on Ray Ford, or I'll just vacate the belts. I don't like it. But I will be honest, I think they're valid points, but I don't think he's ducking Foster. I do think that if Shakur Stevenson, obviously he landed the Teofimo fight, if he could beat Teofimo, even Ryan Garcia would be a bigger fight. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Shakur versus Ryan Garcia, Shakur versus, I don't know, give me some other guys. I don't think Devin Haney will happen. That's at 147. He already said that Devin's too big right now, but let's just say, hypothetically speaking, if things change and when Turkey gets involved, they have the money right, Layla there every night, you know what I'm saying? So maybe Shakur could fight Devin Haney or Teofimo, or even Gervonta Tank Davis, like, or Lamont Roach arguably I'm not saying it is, but Lamont Roach and Pitbull Cruz could arguably be a bigger fight than Oshiki Foster. So I have to be honest that even though there are a lot of similarities, and I can see how people would say that, oh, Shakur is just doing to Foster what he cried about Gervonta doing to him, but I do think that it's the same all in all, but it's slightly different. I do agree that, you know, there's not a real reason to fight Oshiki Foster. But with that being said, I would love for that fight to happen, and I disagree that belts don't matter. I just wish that the belts, the people that run the sanctioning bodies would do better with the belt to operate themselves with more integrity, you know what I'm saying, to uphold the sanctity and the purity of the sport, if there is any. We already know it's tainted. Shout out to Marvelous Tracks. Marvelous Tracks dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. My brother Marvelous Tracks, what up, bruh? He says the only way Kerr get a pass for not fighting Foster is if he stays at 140 and fights Hitchens or Tank. I'm with you on that. And any other fight would. Hold on now. Everybody face forward in your pews. Pastor Marvelous Tracks is approaching the pulpit. We go now. He preaching right here now, chat. I was being a little too nice. Marvelous Tracks said, Doc, I'm not going. He preaching for real. He said the only way Kerr gets a pass for not fighting Foster is if he stays at 140.
Yeah.
And fights Hitchens.
Yeah.
Or Tank.
Yeah.
Any other fight would be a duck.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, he said that would be a duck. He calling the ducks out, chat. Oh, Lord. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't Shakur out here ducking. Say it ain't so, Marvelous. I agree. Like I said, I'm not gonna fight you on it. And salute to you, man. I appreciate the contribution to the chat, man. Thank you for dropping the super chat, man. Getting some graffiti on the chat walls. I appreciate that. I do agree. I agree with you, but I want to add some nuance for myself. I want Foster and Shakur to fight. You know what I'm saying? I think that Foster earned it. Foster's earned everything that he has right now. But like I said, I would give Shakur a pass for fighting somebody. Even other Hitchens would be great, but even other than Hitchens, let's say he stays at 140, which I don't think he will unless he's reconsidering what he said about Keyshawn, right? Because remember, like I said, he said he didn't want to stay at 140 because that's Keyshawn's division. So if he does go back to 135, like you already covered the Tank fight, I think that's a good fight. But what if I don't think he will, but what if he let's hypothetically speaking, let's say, remember the 135 IBF champ is Raymond Murataya. Murataya is fighting Andy Cruz. The winner of Murataya, Andy Cruz versus Shakur, I think that's a bigger fight than Oshiki Foster. It's not fair to Foster, but I'm just saying, like, marketing wise, I do think marketability wise, I think that's a bigger fight. You know, it's more marketable than Shakur versus Foster. Even Abdullah Mason, who said that he's willing to fight anybody, shout out to him. I hope they don't do it because he's a young and a little green. Hopefully they give him some more time to grow. But Abdullah Mason, I think that's a bigger fight than Foster and Shakur. But I'm with you though. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you in principle. Yeah, he should fight Foster. Foster's the WBC interim champion. So I agree with you 1,000%. But I would say that I wouldn't call it a duck because there are more marketable fights and unifications out there. You see what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say it's a duck, but I definitely feel where you're coming from. I think I wouldn't fight you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Oster. He said, Doc and chat, what's up, my brother? So now Shakur have to fight everybody that will call him out. However, when it comes to him now, Shakur has to fight everybody that calls him out, mandatory or not. I think that because he's a mandatory, he has to fight him. You see what I'm saying? Foster is the mandatory now, and that's what Marvelous is saying. You see, like I don't think he has to fight everybody that calls him out, but thank the WBC and President Mauricio Suleiman for being greedy. That's their fault. He's literally he's the interim champion, bro. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, everybody has to fight their mandatory. John Pataya just fought Hussein Sakara. That was his mandatory. Gervonta Tank Davis had to fight a couple mandatories. You see what I'm saying? Shakur, everybody has to fight the mandatories now. So, you know, hell, the only person that did have to fight their mandatories that people complained about was Saul Canelo Alvarez. But once again, that was with the WBC, and the WBC never called the mandatory. You see what I'm saying? So that was their fault. They never forced it. But yeah, you got to fight your mandatories, man. I mean, that's why we might get Dimitri Bivol versus Michael Efer for the IBF mandatory. So yeah, you definitely gotta handle your mandatories. But it seems like, to your point, Oster, it seems like the IBF are the only ones, is the only sanctioned body that really, really focuses on enforcing the mandatories. You know, Jerome Boots said this had to fight a mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to fight mandatories. So I agree with that. Shout out to my brother Dane Christensen in the building. He said, you named it. They made Foster versus Fulton for the for the lightweight WBC interim title. So the WBC could charge both men extra sanction fee. Come on now, Dane. We called it, bro. You rock. You know what I'm saying? You rock with me, bro. Like, that's the thing about this channel, man. We're going to give our preferences and our opinions. It might be, I try to prioritize the truth. You know what I'm saying? I might give you my preferences here and there. Like, if you ask me, if Dane be like, hey, Doc, who you think will win, Shakur or Foster? Then I'll pick one. That's a preference, right? But as far as being biased as curving and pushing the narrative, nah, bro, I'm gonna call it like I see it. I'm gonna offer critiques and compliments where appropriate. And I feel like Mauricio Suleiman was weak for that, because you rewarded, even though Fulton lost, you still put him in a position to reward him for missing weight and being unprofessional. But you did it not for the benefit of Fulton. You did it for the benefit of getting more greenery in your scenery, because Fulton messed up the opportunity for you to capitalize off of the fees that you would have charged him if the fight was for the 130-pound belt. But since it wasn't, because he disqualified himself by not making weight, you said, here, take this. We gonna make it for a sanction. We gonna get a sanctioned fee out of it anyway. Like I said, Mauricio Suleiman to sell his mama for that 3% sanctioned fee. Well, I promise you. Shout out to my brother Oscar. He says, also, I've been seeing a lot of people calling the Foster and Lara fights boring. I actually like those fights. I like them too. You know, people don't watch boxing, Oscar. You know better than that. I love the boxing implemented on those fights. Me too. I thought this card was great. I don't know what people are talking about, man. I thought this card was great. Was every fight a slobber knocker? No. Was every fight freaking KO Kings? No. But this is boxing, not KO Kings. This is boxing, not slobber knockers. This is boxing, not power slap. It's boxing, bro. I'm not saying that every type of boxing style implemented is going to be as exciting as the next, but who wants to watch all KOs? Like I said, that's power slap. Go watch people where they take turns punching each other. This is boxing. It's a sweet science. It's like basketball. I don't want to see slam dunks all day. I want to see schemes ran. I want to see, of course, the knockout is a highlight play. The slam dunk, the alley-oop is a highlight play. But I like seeing the finesse part of the game too. I like to see a step back three. I like to see a floater. I like to see a layup. I like to see the intricate passing. I like to see things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I like to see the defense. So when I see a boxer implementing good defense, man, bro, Lara was 42 years old, the oldest active champion, bro. If you didn't like that fight, you sleep. I don't know what else to tell you, bro. Shout out to him, and shout out to Johan Gonzalez. Much respect to him taking it on short notice. Shout out to my brother TSO Bodega Ty, dropping the hello yellow $10 on the fellow, man. I appreciate that, with that bread, that cheese, that butter. Ty says Foster's not mandated, therefore it's not a duck. Yes, not yet, Ty. He said meaning Shakur can fight anybody until he wants, until next December. Yeah, because he just fought his mandatory, and his mandatory was what's buddy he just fought? Zepeda. So he's good for now. Yep, I agree. No, I mean, you're right. Nothing to agree. That's in the rule book. You could look that up. So Ty says Foster is not mandated, therefore it's not a duck yet. I agree. Yet. I gotta add yet. Meaning Shakur can fight anybody he wants until December. Yep, until next December, excuse me. Unless a special petition is made on behalf of Shock at the next WBC convention. Those are all facts, my brother. All facts. So yeah, man. But at the same time too, I'm glad you said about Mauricio Suleiman, man. Like I said, bro, Mauricio Suleiman, he would pack his mother up and send her on a trip for that 3% fee. And that he would lie to his mama, pack her things, and send her on a trip for that 3% fee.
She thought I was going to send her somewhere nice? You're not going to the beach. Bitch, you're going to hell.
He sent his mama straight to hell for that 3% fee. He don't care where she going. He'll send his mama straight to hell for that 3% fee, man. He don't care, man. He said, you thought you was going somewhere nice? You're not going to the beach? You going to hell. Yo, shout out to my brother Tufo in the building, man. What up, folk? Yes, sir. GTD changed. But yeah, I agree with everything Ty said. He's absolutely right, man. Bro, I love that clip, bro. You're not going to the beach. You going to hell. Hey, what she thought, Tufo? She thought she was going somewhere nice? Come on, man. Shout out to my brother Seth from Pet, man. Big member in the building. Seth from Pet in the building. Seth from Pet says, I think we need a healthy balance in boxing. I don't trust Turkey. Okay. With having the most power in boxing. He lied and was comfortable looking at scorecards. Imagine what's behind the scenes. or next. I agree, man. And then with the UFC lawsuits as well, I think with Turkey, I like Turkey. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I like Turk, what he's doing. Does that mean he's infallible or he's perfect? Does that mean that he doesn't have some type of ulterior motive, something in his back pocket? He might, but for right now, I gotta admit, Beterbiev and Bivol, that's big, man, because about the Russian and Belarusian ban and all that stuff that he overcame to have that fight, and of course Fury and Usyk, the first heavyweight undisputed in a quarter century, 25 years. A lot of fights. Even the Eubank and Conor Benn, that's not a big fight outside of the UK, really, but considering their names, what I'm saying, with Nigel Benn, their fathers, and Chris Eubank Sr., these are big fights that he's giving. I got to give him credit for that. But he has some things that look a little shaky, and I do not like the idea of the TKO boxing with Dana White or anything like that. But, I will say that he's been doing pretty good from a consumer standpoint of boxing, but I do agree with you when he said that, hey, we weren't supposed to pay for the November 22nd card. You're right. He said that. That's what he said. He said that if you have the DAZN app, it wouldn't be paid. You wouldn't be paying extra, right? And so he kind of reneged on that and tried to come back around and say, oh, I didn't say it like this. It was misconstrued. Nah, bruh, you said what you said. I read what you said and I understood what you said. Now, maybe you misspoke or maybe things change, but don't make it seem like we're crazy. You said that we wouldn't be paying for any more pay-per-view fights like that, as far as it being affiliated with Riyadh season, and you reneged, bro. So, what I'm saying? You out here lying, bro. You out here lying, bro. He's out here with the fake news, chat. He really just kicked to us some cold-hearted, blatant lies.
If you out here getting fake vagina over your fake jury, reality is reality.
And the reality is that he lied to us right in our faces. So I do understand that. So, it just doesn't look good. But as far as going back to the topic, with Shakur Stevenson, I want to see that fight, man, just because O'Shaquie Foster is looking good. But like I said, I have to admit that prior to a couple weeks ago, I knew about the Shakur and O'Shaquie little beef back and forth, but they weren't in the same division. Now, back in the day, they were. But, my point is that might be a rivalry on a personal level. But as far as a rivalry that the boxing landscape is asking for, that's not really it. You know what I'm saying? The rivalry that we want to see is Gervonta Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. The rivalry that we want to see is Shakur versus Tio. The rivalry we want to see is Devin versus Shakur, or Devin versus Tank. You know what I'm saying? We haven't really been asking for Shaq versus Shakur, although I would like it. And if they do mandate it, because like we said, right, he's the interim champion now, until they do mandate it, then I'm cool with him not fighting him. But I don't like the way he's going about it, saying that, oh, yeah, I'll just drop the WBC belt. Like, I just throw it in the trash because Big Bro said it. The WBC belt is going in the trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Yeah. Big Bro, Terrence Bud Crawford, said that after he took on the face of boxing and beat him, and my boy Cinnamon. So you ain't got... Bro, you know me, though. I want Tank to unify, too. To me, Tank can't even say that the belts don't matter, even though it is applicable to him because he is one of the biggest names, right? But I think the belts should always matter. But the reason why I agree with Bud, because in my personal opinion, from what I've seen and what I gathered from what Mauricio Solomon said in his statements and what Terrence Bud Crawford said in his statements, that it seems like the WBC was trying to pull one over Terrence Bud Crawford and ask for more money than the IBF and President Daryl Peoples, the WBO and President Gustavo Oliveira, and the WBA and President Gilberto Mendoza. Like, if they all agreed to a certain amount, how come the WBC and Mauricio Solomon is the only one that isn't happy? That should be alarm, full alarm blaze. You know what I'm saying? Everything full red blaze of alarm. You know what I'm saying? So, and those of you that pay attention to boxing, I'm not saying, I'm not knocking anybody or talking down to them. I'm just saying, but some people may not know that. I'm sure Ty knows this. I'm sure Oscar knows this. I'm sure Smoochie, it's a 3% fee. We already know that, right? 3% fee for the sanctioning bodies. That's how it usually goes. However, when it's a huge fight, they make exceptions. So people say, oh, well, Mauricio Solomon went down to 0.6%. Oh, he tried to compromise right there. No. When it's a fight of this magnitude and there's a lot of money, they always renegotiate. For example, Canelo versus Cotto. Though that was a renegotiated effort right there. Go look it up. It's documented. When you have big fights that involve a lot of money, like over a certain amount of millions, they will renegotiate. And that's what the other sanctioned bodies did with Terrence Bud Crawford. WBC just wanted even more, then they renegotiated and changed it. You see what I'm saying? Because if it's a big $50 million pot, it doesn't make sense to get 3% of that. Especially what if Canelo would have won? He got 100 million. 3%, they would have got 3 million. That's crazy. But yeah, you can look it up yourself, and if you want, when you have time, I can show you the documentation. Go back to Canelo and Cotto fight where it was renegotiated from the 3% fee whenever there's a big old fight like that. It's just that the standard is 3%, but once they get over a certain amount, it makes sense for them to renegotiate. So Mauricio Sulaiman was kicking it like, oh yeah, we reduced it to appease Bud, but that's not really the case because they do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to big huge revenue generating fights, you know, big economic fights like that. Shout out to my brother TSO Bodega Ty dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. He says the UFC system is at facts. He said the UFC system is ass. It literally still has all the same problems we see in boxing. Folks don't pay attention. Come on now. He said it's not the number of belts. It's the people in, bro, preach, bro. Hold on, bro. Hold on. No. We got to read that again. Everybody face forward to your pews. Pastor Ty is entering the bodega. The bodega. The church of the bodega. Shout out to my brother. He said the UFC system is ass.
Yeah.
It literally has all the same problems we see in the boxing. We see in boxing.
Yeah.
Folks don't pay attention.
Yeah.
It's not the number of belts. It's the people in charge.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. Shout out to my brother. Yo, hey, man. What that's about. That's what, your third one for the day? That's over the $25 threshold. Shout out to my brother Ty, man, coming through like a boss with another donation on the super chat. I appreciate you, my brother, coming through like a boss with the $5. We got chicken in the kitchen, pollo in la cocina. Shout out to my brother Ty. He said, send 2 for his contract, doc. Okay, we lining up the square up. All right, bet. Let me know what days y'all are good, man. You gotta put it in the Discord, man. We could see. I got to see y'all committed to it, and we could run the square up, man. We haven't ran a battle in a minute, man. So let's do it. I'm down. Let's do it. I'm definitely down, man. Dane Christensen says Gervonta Davis likes to act like he doesn't care about championship belts, but he's holding on to that WBA belt tooth and nail because he knows it gives him leverage for status and big money. Exactly. So like I was saying, so I agree. The belts matter, man. The belts matter. But I will say this too. You know, the WBA stands for what benefits Al, as in Al Heyman, PBC. WBO stands for what Bob orders, as in Bob Arum and Top Rank. So there's some sanctioning bodies that work more closely with some organizations or promotional organizations than others, right? And I think with Gervonta holding on the WBA, I do think that he wants it. Obviously, he's paying the sanction fees, but I also think it's a combination of what President Gervonta Mendoza wanting their belt in the hands of a superstar, right? Let's go back to the WBA. Speaking of them, Dane, we know with Naoya Inoue, look how long it took him to fight MJ Akhmadaliev. That's a WBA. It took him 2 years to fight MJ Akhmadaliev. MJ Akhmadaliev was the mandatory for so long and was getting skipped so long, he actually filed litigation. He filed a motion to take Naoya Inoue and his team to court and the WBA for not allowing him to fight for the belt, which he deserved. And people, when I say that, people say, oh, you think Naoya Inoue scared of MJ Akhmadaliev? It has nothing to do with being scared. I mean, it can mean he's scared. I'm not saying he wasn't, but I don't think he was. Obviously, he whooped him. But it does mean that they think that maybe the risk doesn't match the reward with MJ Akhmadaliev, because MJ Akhmadaliev is better than Yi Jun Kim. MJ Akhmadaliev is better than TJ Doheny. MJ Akhmadaliev is better than Ramon Cardenas. All those guys are guys that that Naoya Inoue fought instead of MJ Akhmadaliev, and it took 2 years to do so. But you know, the President Gilberto Mendoza and WBA is not going to act with haste, because Naoya Inoue he runs the boxing economy in Japan. So him having the belt is way more advantageous monetarily speaking for the WBA than MJ Akhmadaliev having the belt. So they don't really care about him. And same with Gervonta, right? Gervonta Tank Davis, Lucas Body just fought a title eliminator, and I attended that fight on the undercard of Angelina Cordova versus Yankiel Rivera, right, in Orlando. Lucas Body fought a title eliminator for the WBA belt holder. which is Gervonta Tank Davis. He fought a title eliminator against Roger Gutierrez, and he won. How you fight a title eliminator, but no one's talking about you getting a title shot? That's crazy. And I like Gervonta Tank Davis, but that's not his fault. It's more the sanctioning body's fault for selectively and conveniently enforcing rules when they want. It's not Gervonta Tank Davis's fault that the WBA didn't want to strip him for not fighting a rematch that they essentially ordered with Lamont Roach, and they allowed him to go fight the Jake Paul fight, even though it didn't materialize, didn't come into fruition. They still allowed it and allowed him to keep the belt. And if you go check out the interview I had with the former champion Venezuelan Jorge Linares, he's a supervisor for the WBA. I asked him, and he told me he doesn't know what they're about to do. The supervisor of the WBA didn't know what they're about to do. But if it was somebody else with a lesser known name, they would have known. They only didn't know what they were about to do because WBA knows that Gervonta Tank Davis brings that cheddar with him, that cheese, that butter, the biscuits. You know what I'm saying? So that changes a lot. So same with Cinnamon. He's a beneficiary of that too. Like, for example, look how fast they stripped Dimitri Bivol when WBC ordered Bivol to fight Benavidez. The man didn't even get to tell him why he didn't fight. The man just got out of surgery last week. They told him he had to fight Benavidez 3 weeks after he beat Beterbiev. They ain't even allow him. He ain't even make it to the operating room yet before they stripped him for Benavidez. So this is the same WBC that did not strip Cinnamon for not fighting Benavidez. So it's either one or two things. Either they never really ordered Canelo to fight Benavidez, like contrary to popular belief, or they allowed Canelo to ignore his mandatory. Either way, it's not on David Benavidez or Cinnamon. It's on the WBC and President Mauricio Suleiman, because when it was somebody else who had the belt and Dimitri Bivol, they stripped him with most haste and gave it to Benavidez in a matter of 2 months. Coincidentally, they stripped Terrence Crawford in a matter of 2 months as well. So you tell me what it is, man. So we could blame the fighters. The fighters are the face that we see, so we could blame them. They're the easier target. But when you look at it deeply, scratch below the surface, you see that a lot of the nonsense and the shenanigans is less from the fighter and more from the sanctioning bodies. You see what I'm saying? Particularly the WBC. Then I would say the WBA. In the hierarchy of who does the most shenanigans, I would say WBC number 1 right now, WBA number 2, WBO number 3, and IBF. They're probably the most fair when it comes to giving fighters opportunities through the ranking system and through merit. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see guys that are relatively unknown, like Karen Chukazan, get a shot at Jerome Boutinnis. You see guys that are relatively unknown, like I'll give you another Lewis Crocker, get an opportunity. He's a welterweight champion now of the IBF. You see guys like Usyk get stripped and retroactively essentially make Daniel Dubois versus Filip Hrgovic a title fight. That was the IBF as well. So a lot of time, like even Michael Eifert, that's the IBF as well. He might get a shot at Dimitri Bivol, but I'm sure they'll give him step aside money so they can have the Beterbiev trilogy. But yeah, IBF's a little bit more. They're a little bit more. They're a little bit more fair when it comes to giving people shots. Shout out to Toledo Treese. He said you're not mentioning the fact that MJ lost to Paulis. So let me ask you this, Treese. I'm glad you mentioned that. Why would I mention that? Did MJ Ahmadaliev only lose to Tapales and stop boxing? Did he stop boxing once he lost to Tapales and say, ho, I'm just gonna wait to get my shot at MJ Ahmadaliev? I mean, at Naoya Inoue? That's not how it worked, bro. He beat an undefeated Kevin Gonzalez. Kevin Gonzalez was his next fight after Marlon Tapales. Not to mention he lost a split decision to Marlon Tapales that you didn't mention. And then you also didn't mention that his very next fight, he fought an undefeated Kevin Gonzalez, El Chacal. And he beat the brakes off him, right? So don't make it seem like once you lose, you can't get a title shot. You can't get a title shot if you lose. You can't work your way up back through the rankings if you lose. That's interesting. Last time I checked, George Kambosos had a couple losses. He got a title shot. Last time I checked, Lomachenko had a couple losses. He still got title shots. So why is MJ Ahmadaliev disqualified from getting title shots and working his way back through the rankings because he took a loss by split decision to Marlon Tapales? I don't understand. What does him losing have to do with his ranking? He lost and then he worked his way back up through the rankings and he was ranked number 1. When you're ranked number 1 and you're ordered to fight somebody, then you deserve a title shot. I don't understand the confusion about those things. I never understood why people said that. Say those things. So he said all the mandatory Jabbataya fights at the IBF. Yep. Well, I think that's exaggerated as well, right? Like even with Jabbataya, the IBF, he fought Hussein Sankar was a mandatory. Claudio Squayo was a voluntary. A lot of people, I don't know why people, I don't know why people think that. Like, he hasn't fought. Let's be fair. I like Ja Battaglia. And people think I don't like him because I call it what it is. But Jack One Smack Massey was not a mandatory, right? David Naika, that was a mandatory because Hussein Sakar was injured. And with the IBF, like you said, they allow you to fight somebody within the top 10 rankings to replace somebody in case of an injury or a scenario where the mandatory is not available. So David Naika was a mandatory, essentially, but Claudio Squayo was a voluntary. And then Hussein Sakara recovered from his injury, and so that it was another mandatory, yes. But like I said, before that was Jack Massey, right? People, okay, so let's look at their last 4 fights, Ja Battaglia and Zurdo. Ja Battaglia's last 4 fights were Hussein Sankara, right? Nobody knows who he is. We know he's an undefeated 40-year-old, but nobody knows anybody else that he fought besides Ja Battaglia, right? And then his fight before that was Claudio Squayo, another guy that was undefeated, but he literally never fought outside of his home country of Italy. These are facts. Go look it up. And then before that was David Naika. He literally only had 10 fights, right? And then before that was Jack One Smack Massey, who already got one smacked, probably 2 times smacked by the cocaine PED user Joseph Parker, right? So those are his last 4 fights, right? I don't think I need to go any further than that. So he fought a guy that lost to a cocaine PED popper, and Joseph Parker, Jack One Smack Massey. He fought David Naika, he fought Claudio Squayo, and then he fought, what's his name? Who did he just fight? Hussein Sankara. Now let's look at Zurdo Ramirez, a guy that they say is ducking Ja. He might be ducking him. Either way, I don't care. I want that fight to happen. But let's look at Zurdo's last 4 fights. Zurdo just fought Junior Dos Chicos. That was his WBA mandatory, so he had to fight him. Before that, he fought Chris Billiam Smith, a.k.a. CBS, the WBO champion, right? That's how he became unified. Before that, he fought Arsen Goulamarian, the WBA champion. So that's how he became a champion. Before that was his debut at the cruiserweight division, and he fought Joe Smith Jr., a guy who fought Bivol and Beterbiev and B-Hop. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that knocked B-Hop out the ring. So if you talk about the last 4 fights, whose last 4 fights were more significant? I think it would be undoubtedly Zurdo. Zurdo fought Goulamarian, acquired the WBA belt. Sorry. So first, after he lost to Bivol, he fought Joe Smith Jr. for his debut at cruiserweight. He fought his next fight, Arsen Goulamarian, acquired the WBA belt. Next fight, fought CBS, acquired the WBO belt. And then his next fight, he fought his WBA mandatory in Junior Dos Chicos. He didn't fight any voluntaries. There was no voluntaries in anything I just said. The only one that was a voluntary, I guess you could say, is because he didn't have a belt. If you don't have a belt, then it's not really a voluntary. You just fought a debut. You know what I'm saying? So who fought the more significant fights? It's Zurdo. You feel me? So I don't even understand why that's a question either. It's not a question. Now, Ja Battaglia, he might be getting the poo-poo end of the stick. Maybe. I don't know. But that's for Eddie Hearn and Matchroom and Spencer Brown, his manager, to figure out. And Ja Battaglia to figure out. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen so many people give so much credit to a guy that's not fighting nobody. Gervonta Tate Davis, people talk trash about him when he fights Hector Luis Garcia, who is an undefeated champion. People don't give Gervonta Tate Davis credit for fighting Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios is a champion right now. He doesn't get credit for fighting Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero is a champion right now. Esau Pitbull Cruz is the interim champion right now. He was a 140-pound champion. Nobody gives Tate credit for that. Oh, he don't fight nobody. He don't fight good enough people. He fought Frank Martin, who's an undefeated guy who just beat a PED popper in Michelle Rivera.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
They tell me Brian Norman Jr. is overrated when he beat an undefeated WBO interim champion in his backyard of San Diego and Giovanni Santillan. They say, oh, Jin Sasaki, he wasn't a nobody, even though Jin Sasaki was on like an 8 or 9 fight win streak before he fought Brian Norman. Oh, but we're impressed. We're not impressed by none of those guys. You know, we're not impressed by them, but we're impressed by Ja Battaglia beating a 40-year-old Sin Get the freak out of here. We not impressed. We not impressed by Zurdo beating Chris Billiam Smith for another title. We're not impressed by him beating Goulamarian for a title, but we're impressed by Ja Battaglia beating David Naika, who had 10 fights. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. It's just so like, but the selective, like it's like some people have to do stuff way up here, And some people are impressed by guys who are doing things way down here. I'm not saying that you have to be impressed by anybody I just named, Tank and any of his opponents, but you can't tell me you're not impressed by Tanks and his opponents. You're not impressed by Brian Norman and his opponents. You're not impressed by Canelo and his opponents. You're not impressed by, I don't know, give me somebody else, whoever else that we're not impressed by, and Zerto and his opponents, but we're impressed by Ja Battaglia and his opponents. No, bro, Ja Battaglia has arguably fought some of the weakest opponents. His last good opponent, I like David Naika. I'm not gonna lie. I think David Naika was a good win, especially the circumstances, but he was green, right? I would say like Jordan Thompson was a good win. Jack One Smack Massey was a good win. It's okay, but it's nothing to, like, he has never went into a fight where we thought he wasn't gonna have a light night. The last time was Maris Bradis. So this is what it is. But hopefully Ja Battaglia gets a fight with Badu Jack. That'd be great because of unification. But even Badu Jack, this is not Jai's fault, but Badu Jack is 42 years old. Badu Jack is 42.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
So if Badu Jack beats Noel McCalin for a rematch that nobody asked for besides Noel McCalin, I don't think anybody asked for this rematch. I don't like this rematch. But anyway, if Badu Jack wins, the Swedish 42-year-old champion, if I'm not mistaken, he's the second oldest champion, right? He's after Lara, right? He's the second oldest active champion. So he'll fight back-to-back 40-year-olds. Come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. We got to tell the truth. Tell the truth. So why does Jai have the ring from Maris Bradis? Hey, that's a good question, Trees. Why does he have the ring belt? Did he beat the man? Because last time I checked, Usyk was the man, right? So that's a great question, Trees. Let me know, please. When you find out, let me know why he has the ring belt, because that's a great question. Because he beat Maris Bradis, but Maris Bradis already lost to Usyk. Because I thought the Ring Magazine belt represented the lineal champion, which is the man who beat the man. Well, Usyk beat Bradis. So Bradis was the man that lost to the man. Jai Battaglia beat the man that lost to the man. Why does he have the ring belt? That's a great question. You let me know, bro. That's a great question. He said that he has the ring belt. The ring belt for cruiserweight?
What the fuck does that mean?
You feel me, Smoochie? What the freak does that mean? What does that mean at cruiserweight? You let me know, brother. Please let me know. What does that mean? He said the ring belt at cruiserweight, man. You let me know. That's a great question. I love that question. Shout out to Seth from Pet. He said, y'all think Badu Jack loses? Nah, I think he's going to beat Noel McCalin. He won the last fight with the majority decision, but now he's up on the odds. Was it robbery in the past fight? Nah, I think he'll beat Noel McCalin again. But it is interesting. I will say this. I'm not really fond of that rematch, but I will say it was on, I want to say short. Yeah, it was short notice, limited notice, right? So now they both get, for both of them, not just Badu Jack, but Noel McCalin. I mean, not just Noel McCalin, but Badu Jack as well. Now they have an opportunity to dedicate a full camp. They fight this week on the 13th. I think Badu Jack will win again, but I mean, he is 42 years old, bro. So Noel McCalin, I think, is like 34, 35. He should beat him. He has a youth advantage, but I think Badu Jack is better. Badu Jack been in there with guys like John Pascal, Lucien Butte, James DeGale. Yeah, so Badu Jack's been in there with some guys. Not to mention Adonis Superman Stevenson. Shout out to him, the Haitian Canadian former champion. He's been in there with quite a few guys, man. So I think Badu Jack might have the most experience out of everybody in cruiserweight, including Zerto. But yeah, he said, don't forget about Ryan Rozicki. But shout out to my guy Toledo Trees. Ryan Rozicki, he's good, but he just had a draw with what's the dude's name? Yahil Peralta, right? I know you holding it down for that. That was for Ryan. I know you shout out Ryan Rozicki, but that was for Ryan Boxing Talk up north. I know. I be watching. You know what I'm saying? You show your Canadian brethren some love with that one. But Ryan Rozicki's good as well. But Ryan Rozicki is what? He keeps getting injured. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Noel McCalin was dragging his feet. Don't get me wrong. He's been getting the shitty end of the stick as well, Ryan Rozicki. But then unfortunately, once he got healthy, and he had a fight with Peralta, he messed around and got a draw. So he just had it kind of rough, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ryan Rozicki, though. But yeah, that'd be, bro, if Jai Battaglia fought Ryan Rozicki, I'd be cool. He hasn't even fought a Ryan Rozicki caliber fighter yet. Come on, bro. I shouldn't say yet. Excuse me. recently. He hasn't fought a Ryan Rozicki caliber guy recently. He could fight, bro. If Jai versus Ryan Rozicki, I'd be cool. I'd be cool, bro. But you can't tell me I'm supposed to be impressed by Sin Cara, bro. No disrespect to Sin Cara. Hopefully he recovers. You know what I'm saying? Jai Bataya's KO of him was great. His performance was not impressive. His KO was impressive. Of course, you knock anybody out like that. That's gonna wow us, right? It's gonna wow all of us. But he got rocked in the second round. In fact, 2 of his last 3 opponents rocked him. If you watched the David Naika fight, which I'm sure you did, Treese, you remember David Naika rocked him with a good shot. And that's okay. You can have a bad night at the office, but if you have a bad night at the office, it's also okay to call it that. I'm not saying Jai Bataille does call it that. Shout out to Jai. I like Jai, but his fans, they're ridiculous, bro. If you listen to the commentary and you listen to the way people talk, you would think that Sin Cara's some monster because he's undefeated. Undefeated is not synonymous with being good. I'm not saying he's bad, but just because he's undefeated doesn't mean he's good. Abel Mendoza's undefeated. So Sin Cara could be good and unknown, but you got to let me know why you think he's good. No, Apataya was a heavy favorite. He should have been a heavy favorite. And the fact that he got rocked by David Naika, he whooped on Squayo, but then he got rocked again by Sin Cara, that is worrisome. That is worrisome. Bro, like, people act like, oh yeah, he's just a bully. You think Zerto's scared of that? I mean, maybe I give Zerto too much credit. I don't know. I don't think Badu Jack or Zerto is scared of that. Zerto been in the ring with Bivol. Zerto, you know, he's a unified champion. Like I said, I just gave you the rundown of who Badu Jack shared the ring with. I don't think that makes him scared. I just think it's more of like a management thing. And like I said, I'm not blaming Jai Bataille, but the other guys are fighting meaningful fights. Even Noel McCallan and Badu Jack. Noel McCallan was a champion, then he became the champion in recess, and then Badu Jack was a champion in recess, and he became the full champion. So even now, they're still fighting guys. Between them, they're 2 champions or former champions or champions of recess, whatever, between Noel McCallan and Badu Jack. So that's a meaningful fight. I don't really like the rematch, but it is a meaningful fight. The only one out of the cruiserweight champions, Badu Jack for the WBC, Jai Bataille for the IBF, Zerto for the WBA, WBO, excuse me. The only ones that's fighting fights that aren't meaningful is Jai Bataille. It is what it is. I don't even like. There's no debate. That's not opinionated. That's facts. But I'll tell you, I think Jai Bataille beats Badu Jack. I think Jai Bataille Zerto's a 50-50 fight, though. Shout out to Separate Pace. I believe Turkey word when he said, wait till 2026, he going to pull a car full of champions. Says, hey, I believe him too. Shout out to my brother TSO Bodega Ty. He says, Usyk was the man, but the minute he moved up, he was no longer the man. Fortunately for Apataya, he was number 1, facts, and Maris was number 2, facts. Exactly what I was trying to get out of Treese. Not different than Boots versus Stanionis when Bud went to 154. Facts. I wanted Treese to say that. Shout out to Treese. I'm sure Treese knew that too. But what I'm saying is that when we say that he's the lineal champion, we don't ever hear that though. But shout out to my brother Ty. When they said, oh, Boots beat Stanionis, why'd he get the ring belt? They say, oh, well, there was no champion, right? It was just a rank number 1 and number 2. We never hear that when we discuss Jai Bataille. For whatever reason, it's like sacrilegious to say anything that's considered less than Jai Bataille is the massa. If you say anything less than that, you're dissing Jai Bataille. I don't get it, bro. But we always gonna say facts around here. You know, Jai Bataille is a very good fighter, but if you're gonna critique Gerard Boots Ennis and his acquisition of the Ring Magazine belt at 147 because there was no man there, the same thing's applicable to Jai Bataille. It is what it is. That's just the truth, bro. So don't forget to smack that like button for your boy. Keep smacking that like button. Keep smacking that like button. We gonna keep on chefing it up. Abel Mendoza, shout out to Seth from Pet. He says Abel Mendoza haven't fought in a year. What is going on with that dude? He be in Team Combat League. He be in Team Combat League. He 42-0, but he not undefeated in Team Combat League. I see him get dropped something nasty. Shout out to Abel Mendoza though, you know, 42. Is he 42-0? It's 42, 43-0, something like that. But not like I said, Team Combat League, he be getting ran through. Well, I shouldn't say. I tell you, he's not. I shouldn't say that. But he be losing in Team Combat League. But he said you could get. Shout out to 2-4. He said you could get to Jai, but the thing is, can you get him gone before he land his? Come on now, Zerto or Benny Boy don't got 1 punch power. No, I agree. 2-4. So that's why I think it's gonna be great fights. But Jai Bataille has good power, but once again, then you question who. I think, to be fair, I think Gervonta would have beat Chris Billion Smith, and I know he tried to get him to fight, but Gervonta, like I said, man, it could be Eddie Hearn, man. Eddie, Jerome Boots in, and speaking of Boots, he was in the same exact position too, right? He was in the same predicament, right? Where he was wanting to fight everybody, then he'll fight like Karen, Chukazan. He'll fight guys that we don't really want to see until Eddie Hearn finally got him a good fight with Stanionis, the undefeated Lithuanian champion at the time for the WBA. But Eddie Hearn was blaming Barrios, said, oh, Barrios doesn't want to fight him. Brian Norman doesn't want to fight him. Who was the other guy? Stanionis didn't want to fight him. Well, when everybody doesn't want to fight you, I'm not saying one person, maybe Norman may be scared of you. Maybe Barrios may be scared of you, but everybody's not scared of you, bro. It has to be something bigger, something deeper. And it's probably because you're not making good enough offers that are sufficient for people to take to have the fight. That's part of it too. So, you know, and what does that situation with Boots and Eddie have in common? Well, Eddie is also whose promoter? Gervonta. So everybody's ducking, man. I mean, everybody ain't ducking, bro. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. That's not the sport I watch. Shout out to Ty. He said, you better chill before those Samoans come spinning blind. Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If we ever go to Australia down under, oh, bro, I'm gonna need me some bodyguards, boy. They be, bro, you see my comment sections when I be making the videos? Boy, they be on my head top, boy. And they better come with it. They better come with it. What my boy Boosie say? Remember when he was being interviewed? I don't remember what it was. It might have been Vlad. I don't like Vlad TV though. He be I don't like Culture Vulture. I don't even mind it, but just the way he be trying to set people up. You know, I don't rock with them informants type, snitches type. But anyway, I think it was on Vlad a long time ago. I don't watch him anymore. But he was like, Boosie was like, man, remember when Mike Tyson wanted to fight you? Were you scared? Were you scared he was gonna punch on you? And Boosie said, man, me and my brothers would have shot the fuck out of Mike Tyson. I feel, bro. I'm not saying I would do that to anybody, but I ain't worried about it. I say that, Ty. Me and my brothers, boy. Hey, yeah, hey, you better come deeper than what I got in this clip. You think I'm finna box you? Hey, I be seeing y'all guys down there doing your rugby with your haiku and all. I ain't got time, man. I've been there, shot the fuck out of them Samoans. All right, hey. No, I'm joking, chat. That just remind me of the Boosie thing. I'm just joking. Boosie said, me and my brothers had to shot the fuck out of Tyson. We ain't finna box. This ain't no sanctioned body. What you got going on? Oh, man. Doc ain't scared of no kangaroo. Talk to us, Smoochie. You feel me? I'm a lion. I ain't scared of no gosh dang kangaroos or no dingoes. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing for me. I'm a lion, man. And me fear no man but God. Put no fear in my heart. But nah, I like Gervonta though. It's just that people they hear what they want to hear. Bro, the man said that in my comments. He said, oh, this guy doesn't like Apataya and he doesn't like Crawford. I don't like Crawford. Bro, I've been accused. That's how you know we're unbiased, because, you know, I actually wear those on my sleeve because, you know, it's like, I done been called, you know, Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. I've been called a cinnamon hater. I've been called Gervonta's one of my favorite fighters. I've been called a Gervonta hater. I've been called a Shakur hater, Devin Haney hater. Anytime you keep it real, you called a hater, bro. Gervonta, like, don't get me wrong. Some people do be hating, but I might be many things, but I've never been a hater. I just call it for how I see it. Now, you know, I'm trying to think. The only fighter I probably haven't really been called a hater of, I don't think I've ever been called a Zerto hater. I don't know. I don't recall. I've been called a David Benavidez hater, Devin Haney hater, Ryan Garcia hater, Teofimo hater, Subro Matias hater, because he just popped dirty. If I make a video saying that he popped dirty for 0.085 nanograms per milliliter of Ostarine, excuse me, they say I'm a hater. You can't report the news, chat. You're a hater. Even though I said that the fight is still going on with him and Dalton Smith, but he will be on a year probation, I'm a hater because I don't know what I'm talking about. There's no point in reporting it because, you know, he was clean. No, dummy, he's cleared. Those words are very similar. Clean and clear. Only one letter difference. A R and an N. C-L-E-A-N for clean. C-L-E-A-R for clear. They're not the same thing. He's not clean. He had 0.085 nanograms per milliliter in his system of Ostarine. You can't be clean and have a quantitative amount of a banned substance in your system simultaneously, dummy. So he's not clean. He's clear because it was under the allowable limit set by the New York State Athletic Commission to fight. The allowable limit is 0.1 nanograms per milliliter. He came in at 0.085. So if you do the math, it's 0.015 nanograms per milliliter under the limit. So he's allowed to fight. But because he had it in his system, you don't trip, stumble, and slip and fall and land in a face full of Ostarine. That's not how banned substances work. So because he had it in his system, he's still going to get reprimanded for it. But the reprimand and the punishment does not come in the form of a cancellation of a fight. He is on probation. Now, a good question is to ask, how can a fighter still fight while on probation? I don't make the rules. That I don't know. I can't tell you. You got to ask somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just reporting. I'm disseminating the news. People get mad at me. That's okay. You can't whoop my ass, so I ain't worried about it. Can't whoop me. I ain't worried about it. Be mad all you want. As long as you keep it to the comment sections, we good. Or I should say you good. I'm always good. As long as you keep it to the comment sections, you'll be good. Shout out to Oscar Perez. He said Jabatai got that such chinny chin chin. Got that such chinny chin chin. I'm telling you, Tufo says Vlad be like, so you rap about doing a lot of drills. When was the last time you were? Come on, exactly. I can't rock with that, man. You trying to get people to snitch on themselves accidentally. I ain't got time for that. I can't rock with that, man. Shout out to Sem from Pay. He said, I'd rather be 11-2 while earning millions compared to 42-0 barely making anything. That's a good point, but that's see, no disrespect to Abel Mendoza. I don't know what kind of deals he has or what he's offered. I know Ty said he's trash. I can't speak on Abel Mendoza because I'm not too familiar with the situation, but I feel like he is an example of somebody prioritizing their O. It's like when people say Floyd Mayweather, shout out to Floyd Mayweather, they said Floyd Mayweather protected his O. I say no, he defended his O. Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao. That's a Hall of Famer. He fought Sugar Shane Mosley. That's a Hall of Famer. Zab Judah, I think is he in the Hall of Fame? He should be. That's a Hall of Famer. For Oscar De La Hoya, that's a Hall of Famer. Miguel Cotto, that's a Hall of Famer. Juan Manuel Marquez, that's a Hall of Famer. I could keep going, but we ain't got time. Rest in peace to Arturo Gatti. Rest in peace to Hitman Hatton. Rest in peace to Diego Corrales. Floyd Mayweather fought them too. So when you protect your O, it's when you're Abel Mendoza. You don't fight anybody that will jeopardize you losing that O. When you defended that O, what's wrong with that? You don't sign up to lose. All Floyd Mayweather did was fight the guys and they couldn't beat him. He didn't protect his O like he didn't fight anybody. So those are two different things, but they give a negative connotation like, oh, Floyd Mayweather didn't fight anybody. No, he defended his O. He ended up undefeated because he was willing to fight people. He put it on the line and they just couldn't beat him. Brian Norman just did the same thing. He defended his O. He came up short to Devin Haney, but he tried to defend his O and his belt. He took a risk. Devin Haney also took a risk by fighting Brian Norman, the WBO undefeated heavy hitter champ, while moving up to a new weight class. Shout out to Devin Haney. He's not protecting his O. He's defending his O. Shakur Stevenson just beat the undisputed mandatory in Williams Zepeda. He was a WBA, WBC, WBO, and IBF mandatory all at the same gosh dang time. How you an undisputed mandatory is crazy, but he was. Shakur Stevenson beat him. Defended his O. Stop hating on fighters, man. Just because they're undefeated, people were certified. But you were impressed by Hussein Sankara, though. Hussein Sankara 0 was impressive with his job, Ataya, though. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But other people are coddling. No, they're just undefeated because they defended it, bro. That's it. That's it. They defend. David Benavidez defends his O. David Benavidez is another one who defends his O. He's not protecting his O. He's taking chances. The guys that try to fight him just come up short. Beterbiev and Bivol defended their O's against each other and they lost to each other. But yeah, so there's a difference between protecting your O and defending your O. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to him. He said, what's your name? Sorry. All in one the great. All in one the great. He said Shakur beats everybody. Shout out to Shakur. He might. I think Tank beats him, but that's a good fight, man. I want to see Tank versus Shakur. I want to see that fight. It's a great fight. That's why I want to see it. But I have Tank. But yeah, if anybody can beat Tank, it's Shakur. And if anybody can beat Shakur, it's Gervonta. You know what I'm talking about? So those are great fights. That's why we need it. We need it. We need it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if I'm missing anything. Shout out to Sefer Pay. He said the first result you see, just a thumbnail, will have you on the floor. Shout out to All in One Great. He said Tank wants to fight Cruz again. Yeah. Speaking of that, man, I meant to cover that too. Speaking of that, man, let's go back to the main topic, man. Let's transition. Gervonta has teased that he's coming back. I'm not gonna lie, man. When I saw Gervonta said that he's coming back, the first thing that popped in my mind was this.
Bullshit!
I like Gervonta Tank Davis, but I'm not trying to hear about you saying that you're coming back. Just come back, bro. I'm not trying to hear about you say, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not interested in you coming back. Just come back. I'm not trying to hear it, bro. I'm not interested in you claiming. He also claimed that he didn't do it with the incident that he had, alleged incident about domestic violence with a girl. You know, I don't like to really talk about stuff outside of boxing, but he said he didn't do it and that people just were ready to believe any story because it was him involved. I'm not trying to hear that, bro. Just come back. I wish you the best with that. You know what I'm saying? But if you did it, then you should be punished. And if she's lying, then she should be punished. But don't make it seem like anybody's wrong because you were in a bad situation. Unfortunately, you know, you may feel like that, but you got to understand you have a history of having these types of situations and issues. So you can't get mad at people for thinking that something was wrong. You see what I'm saying? Don't be ridiculous now. It's like Stephen Fulton. I like Stephen Fulton. I still root for him. But when he tried to say, oh, yeah, everybody, first he said that Shakur Foster was victimizing himself, trying to play the victim, like, oh, everybody had a tough life. And then you turn around and say, oh, I missed weight, but people don't really understand what I was going through, and they still making assumptions. No, there's no assumptions. You missed weight. Everybody has life happen to them. You see what I'm saying? But you can't miss weight and then be like, oh, well, nobody knows what's going on. We don't care, bro. Just fight and make weight. Be professional. Be disciplined. You see what I'm saying? So you can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying? You can't have an issue and expect people not to talk about it. You're in boxing. That's what it is. I still wish Fulton the best, but you can't say you can't conflate the two. It's not bashing you. Some people do hate you and hate on you and bash you, but you can't say that someone's bashing you because they talked about you being undisciplined because you missed weight. You missed weight while moving up. How the heck? Who does that? How you do that? How you do that? How you miss weight moving up? And then you're audacious enough to say that people shouldn't talk about it? What are we doing, man? So I still think Stephen Fulton could bounce back. I think he bounced back before with Nye anyway. I think he could bounce back again. So shout out to Fulton. I still like him and wish him the best. But we're definitely going to call it what it is. We give compliments and critiques where applicable, and he should be critiqued for that. But so same with Tank. Like, I like Gervonta Tank Davis, one of my favorite fighters, but you can't get mad at people for talking about a situation that you had that essentially had a fight canceled, right, with Jake Paul, which whether you think it's the truth or not, that's debatable. I do believe that there's some truth to the fact that Gervonta Davis, because of Jake Paul's history of domestic violence and stuff of that nature towards women, I do think that there was more to it than just Gervonta's extracurricular activities, if you will. But I do think also that is a bad look. So I'm not mad at it, brother. I'm not going to get mad at a fight getting canceled that I didn't want in the first place. Especially I'm not going to get mad at a fight getting canceled if the issue was because somebody did something that's messed up and against the law. So that just doesn't make sense. But anyway, what I'm saying is that if Gervonta wants to come back and fight Pitbull, just do it. I'm not trying to hear about it. And if you said that you didn't do it, that's cool. Prove it in court. I'm not trying to hear about it. You know what I'm saying? What I want to hear from you, though, is when you're fighting, because I'm a boxing fan. Anybody else that likes boxers because of what they wear or who they're dating, that's a different type of fandom. I can't relate to that. I like boxers for boxing. If you're not boxing, I wish you the best in retirement. I don't think he should come back if he's not able to. Like, if he's not mentally there, that's a good reason not to fight. You see what I'm saying? And if you don't want to fight, don't fight. I'm not saying to force it. Come back for him, and come back at your best capabilities, you know what I'm saying? And when you have everything in order, don't force it. But if you're gonna come back, then come back. I don't want to hear about it. You see what I'm saying? But to the guy's point, all in one, I don't want to see Tank versus Cruz, but I don't think that's a bad fight, right? Because a lot of people want to see that fight. I don't want to see it because I thought Tank beat him well enough. I think people exaggerate how close the fight between Cruz and Tank was. I think it was a unanimous decision, but because Tank is a knockout artist and he didn't knock him out, everybody's going to automatically not assume, but they're going to automatically say that it was a close fight. No, it wasn't a close fight. It's just that Pitbull just didn't get knocked out. He fought well, though. He put forth a valiant effort, in my opinion, especially given the circumstances that it was on a Sunday because it was such late notice. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention, Tank hurt his hand. So both of them were compromised, right? Tank feels like his hands was hurt and he didn't have a time to prepare for that guy in particular. And Cruz didn't have a full training camp to dedicate to Tank because it was late notice. So I understand people wanting it, but I don't think it was that close. I don't want to see that fight again, but it does make sense. So I disagree with you that he's weak for fighting Cruz because a lot of people want him to fight Cruz. So I disagree with that, even though I don't want it. But Roach, he needs to fight Roach, though. That to me, like I said, I don't coddle my favorite boxers, bro. I like Canelo, and I wanted Canelo to fight David Benavidez. I just don't say that he ducked Benavidez because I paid too much attention to boxing. I know that the WBC never ordered it officially. So because they didn't order it, I do not say that Canelo ducked him. But because Canelo is the face of boxing, he could do and therefore not do what he wants. So, and he didn't want to fight Benavidez. I wish he would have. You know what I'm saying? And I picked Cinnamon to beat David Benavidez at that time. But now that ship has sailed because they're not even in the same division. And Benavidez is talking about going up to cruiserweight to fight Zerto as long as Zerto beats Robin Safar. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I want Tank to revisit Lamont Roach. I love that. I want that fight again. You know what I'm saying? I thought Tank would win, but I told people that fight is going to be closer to what people think because Lamont Roach, even though he's relatively unknown, he is a WBA champion and he was a big guy. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't some small 130 pounder. You know, he'd been up to 135. In fact, at the time, I think he had just as much fights, if not more fights than Tank at above 135. You know what I'm saying? At 135 and above. So he wasn't a small guy. Plus they have familiarity with each other. I told people that would be a close fight, but at the same time, I understand the disappointment because nobody was looking for or asking for Tank versus Roach. But because Tank tried to get Lomachenko retired, right? Tank tried to get Rayo didn't want to come back down. Tank tried to get De Los Santos. He had problem with his travel visa and stuff like that. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying this is what transpired. And that's how Tank got to Roach. Roach was his fourth option. So I wasn't mad at it at all. But then, you know, I don't expect everybody to know that stuff. So, but I do think because Tank had a controversial draw, he should fight Lamont Roach. I think so. But hey, if he doesn't, he doesn't. It is what it is. He said, Smoochie said, what is wrong with All-in-One the Great? Oh, what'd he say? I don't know. Said Roach got robbed 2 times? Nah, I don't think Roach. I think Cruz beat Roach, in my opinion. But even though I thought Cruz beat Roach, it wasn't a robbery. It was a close fight. We got to stop calling things. We got to stop speaking in such hyperbole. It was a close fight. I scored it 114-112 for Cruz. But I like Lamont Roach too. It was a good fight. If someone scored it for Lamont Roach, that's cool too. You know, but it was a close fight. Could have went either way. So if it's a close fight that could go either way, how could it be a robbery? A robbery is when you have a clear winner and a clear loser, and it goes the way of the loser. For example, a clear robbery was who? Michaela Mayer and Natasha Jonas. There's no way Natasha Jonas beat Michaela Mayer. That was a clear robbery. Another clear robbery was a fight that was already revisited subsequently, which was subsequently revisited after the robbery, was Oshaki Foster or Hobson Kasesau. There's no way Hobson Kasesau beat Oshaki Foster. That was a robbery. We got to stop calling things robberies that are close fights that could go either way. Esau Pitbull Cruz versus Roach could have went either way. I personally scored it 114-112 for Esau Pitbull Cruz, but I had a couple swing rounds. You know what I'm saying? Even though I gave both those swing rounds to Roach and I still had it for Cruz, but if somebody saw it slightly different, then it is what it is. But Roach did not get robbed against Cruz. It was a draw. It wasn't a bad draw. It was actually, I thought it was kind of appropriate, actually. I thought it could have went draw, could have went slightly towards Roach, could have went slightly towards Cruz. Now, I'm not mad at Roach for feeling like he was robbed. He was in 2 draws back to back. So I understand when you're in a close fight, you feel like you won. I'm not mad at him, but if you watch the fight and you're an honest person and you scored the fight, there's no way you're telling me that it was a robbery and you scored it overwhelmingly in Roach's favor. There's no way. There's no way. At best, you may have given Roach 7 rounds. And that's still a close fight. That's only a 2-round difference. 7-5 reflects 115, 113. But then they had knockdowns too. So, but anyway, shout out to my brother TSO Bodega Ty dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Shout out to my guy Ty, man. He says it's a difference between having priors and being in an ongoing investigation. Talk to him. He said, Tank a goofy. It cost him a bag. He said, Tank a goofy. It cost him a bag. Whoop-de-doo. Get off my boy, man. Come on, man. Chill out, my boy. But I do agree with you, though. There is a difference between having allegations and ongoing investigations with your priors. Yeah. That's a fact. So you got to take some accountability. Get off my boy, though. Get off my boy, man. Just put it in the comment section. Talk to him, Oster. He said the stats show otherwise on jabs and power punches. Yeah, you watch stats. So I watch fights. I don't watch stats. I do look at the stats when they're interesting, but if you that's like watching a basketball game and just looking at the stats, right? There's more than just punches being thrown and being missed. Like Cruz threw, he might have landed a little bit less, but he threw more, right? And if you watch the fight, a lot of times Lamont Roach is going backwards, right? So that kind of is indicative of somebody being the aggressor and taking the fight to somebody, and somebody, you could argue, being forced on their back foot as opposed to being comfortable on their back foot. So you got to watch the fight too. It's not enough to just say, oh, this person threw more jabs and landed more power punches to say they won the fight. If that's the case, then we don't need to watch fights. Let's just look at CompuBox. Is CompuBox always right? Does CompuBox always reflect what you saw? Maybe it does for you, but it doesn't for me. But yeah, I mean, Roach got dropped. So even if Roach threw more power punches, I didn't see Cruz on the ground. Did y'all see Cruz on his back pockets, chat? Did you see that, Ty? Oster, did you see Cruz hit the canvas? All those power punches, huh? I saw one person hit the canvas. It wasn't Cruz. So even though Lamont Roach may have landed more power punches, Isaac Cruz landed the more effective power punches, right? That'd be indicative by Lamont Roach getting put on his back pockets on the canvas. So one knockdown doesn't win you a fight. But the point that I'm making is that if I throw more power punches than Ty, but Ty throws the 1 or 2 power punches they put me on my ass, then why does it matter if I threw 5 more than him? If his 2 were more effective than my 5, why does it matter? So you got to watch the fight, brother. You can't just, I mean, you can do whatever you want. If you want to just read stats, that's cool. But stats don't mean everything. They mean a lot. They don't mean everything. Ty said stats. Who's mad at stats? This man said stats.
Shut up, bitch.
This man says stats. He landed more jabs. He landed more power punches. Him landed more jabs and more power punches.
What the fuck does that mean?
But yeah, I mean, yeah. Shout out to, I'm not, like I said, if anybody scored it for Roach, I'm not mad. Once again, I want to reemphasize, I'm saying that it was a close fight. Roach was not robbed. If you scored it for Roach, cool. Tell me your scorecard. Don't tell me, oh, Roach was robbed and you didn't score the fight. Don't tell me Roach was robbed and you can't tell me why he was robbed. You don't tell me Roach was robbed and you can't justify it. All you can say is, oh, I looked at the stats after the fight. Whatever. That's cool. Well, what you say, Ty? Whoop-de-doo. Shout out to Peel Out in the building. What's good, Peel Out? But yeah, man. So, yeah, man, that's all I really have for today, bro. You know, I had a little short show. Let me make sure I had on. Let me check my notes. Yeah, that's all I really have for today. So I will open up the phone lines if anybody wants to call in and get their thoughts off. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Come rap with your boy real quick. If not, then we gonna call it. So let's see what we have, man. Let me put the link in the chat for anybody that wants to call into the show and let me know how you really feel. Oh, also too, shout out to Jordan Roach, Lamont Roach's younger brother. He won his fight as well. I forgot to say that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. But let me open up the chat. Also too, you know what I'm saying? Let me don't forget to check out the Spotify. We dropping a new Spotify episode tomorrow. Also, sign up for the newsletter, the weekly newsletter written by yours truly. If you really like real boxing talk, you know what I'm saying? From honest, unbiased standpoint, check out Doc's Corner. That's a newsletter written by yours truly once a week, every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm getting a lot of great reviews on it. Shout out to those that read it or listen to it, because you could do both. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Keep rocking with your boy, man. Hey, I'm telling you, man. I ain't got to tell you. I can just show you. I'm going to keep showing you. I'm the hardest working boxing content creator out here. You know what I'm saying? It's just me by myself. Solo army. You feel me? You don't see me on no other platforms trying to politic. You don't see me over here trying to recruit people or try to ride somebody's coattails or pop up on this person's platform. They try to pop up on this person's platform. They pop up on this person's platform, barely popping on my own platform. You know how that goes. You don't see me doing that over here, man. We get it in. If you want to hit that Discord link, the Discord link is now in the chat. Holla at me. You know what I'm saying? We get the hustle off the muscle. That's all I know. That's why we real. They can't duplicate. They can't imitate. They can imitate, but they can't duplicate. You know what I'm talking about? Can't replicate. You know what I'm saying? All they can do is hate and imitate. Shout out to my brother Ty, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. You know what I'm saying? We out here, man. He said can't outscore a knockdown in a round. That's an automatic 10-8 round. Talk to him, bro. Ty, come on now. You know what it is. Everybody don't know what it is, but we know what it is. It's 10-8 round, man. There was 2 10-8. Well, for me, I don't know how people scored it, but I gave it a 10-8 round. Was at the 3rd round that Cruz knocked him down. And then I also gave a 10-8 round in favor of Roach in the 7th round because I actually thought he won the 7th round, but it was close. But I gave Roach the second round. I mean, the 7th round, and then also the point deduction, which made that a 10-8 round in favor of Roach. The 7th round, I believe it was. So Jordan Roach, yeah, Jordan Roach. I didn't know he had a brother. Let me see what he looked like. Thirsty ass. Shout out to Smoochie. Smoochie out here freaky. Out here freaky.
And I can make it rain with my hurricane tongue like la 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 la.
Nah, I'm just joking. I know you ain't mean it like that. So I know you just saying, look how he fights. I'm just joking. Don't get on my head top now. Don't get on my head top. Shout out to Just Draw. Was good. He said, I watched as a forced ghost. Lamont got robbed. I watched as a forced ghost. Lamont robbed. He ain't even watching. Talking about Lamont got robbed. At least you honest, man. Shout out to my brother Dot. Shout out to my brother, man. Shout out to my brother Dot, man. He out here watching. He out here being honest. I mean, he out here being honest, man. Smoochie said, I prefer Lamont. That was quick. Guys, dang. Smoochie looked him up quick and said, I'm not going. Smoochie looked him up quick and said, Okay, we got my brother Bodega Ty in the back. We got my other brother Oscar Perez in the back. Me two hermanos. Me dos hermanos in the back. Let me pull them fellas up, man. Also, too, while I pull them up, don't forget to smack that like button for your boy as well. I appreciate it. For your listening pleasure, we are now on Spotify under Dr. Boxing Talk. The same thing on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, everything. Dr. Boxing Talk, man. Come rock with us. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And shout out to my brother Ty, man. He carrying the super chats today, man. What's up? My brother carrying the super chats, man. My boy lifted he lifted the heavy load, man. Shout out to Marvelous Tracks with a $5 super chat as well, man. Marvelous Tracks and Ty, they doing the heavy lifting out here like Hulk and Thor, huh? Shout out to y'all, man, for the support. I appreciate it. Shout out to all the support, man. Like I said, we have the Cash App right there. We have the super chats, man. Appreciate all the support in any capacity. And if you can't contribute monetarily, that's okay. Do the free thing. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Dr. Boxing Talk on everything. TikTok. That really keeps us going and growing and makes us get more interviews, like the fantastic interview we had with the WBA junior middleweight champion, Togolese German Abbas Barao. Or the interview we had with the WBO Puerto Rican American junior middleweight champion Xander Zayas. Or the interview we had with George Jakovic. So all this stuff contributes to our growth, man. So show some love. You know what I'm talking about? It's free. Get it popping with them fingers. Let me pull up my brother Ty. And then we going to pull up Oscar afterwards. And we just going to chop it up, man. And kick it like the old time. Shout out to my brother Bodega Ty in the building. What's good, bro? Band for Band King in the building.
Hold on, let me turn down my TV.
Take your time, brother. Take your time. Smoochie said, if you sub, Ty will pay your light bill. It's crazy.
Yo.
That's crazy, yo. Smoochie over here volunteering you for the to pay off debt out here.
You know what I mean, I used to do that. You know what I mean.
Shout out to my boy. You know what I'm talking about?
Out in them subsidized housing areas, paying that $45 rent.
He said not the subsidized housing communities. Hey yo, my boy Ty out here changing lives 1 month at a time. That's crazy.
Hide your baby mamas.
He said, mind your baby mamas. My boy, a terror out there, man. Hide your fruit snacks, chat. Hide your fruit snacks, your sippy cups.
No diddy.
My boy out there, man. He out there freaky like gosh day Pitbull.
I can make it rain with my hurricane tongue like
I got a PSA for everybody. Look, man. My boy Scooter had a bad performance.
Okay.
He had a bad camp. But he not going to make them excuses. He'd rather just not talk about it.
Shout out to him.
But y'all got another 48 hours to roast this man. And no matter what y'all say on the internet, it ain't going to be worse than Bozy putting his ass on that Summer Jam screen.
That's what I'm talking about.
Still needs to be broken down.
That's what I'm talking about. I love to hear it, man. Accountability, man. That's why Bozy's a great trainer, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you had a bad performance? Okay, bet. Let's address it. And once you address
I ain't
it,
gonna hold
I'm
you.
happy.
After the third watch, Bozy was in there like, damn, that's 12-0. Let that boy whip your ass. That's you right there. That's your shit.
That's you right there. That's your man's. That's your man's. Oh man, the fit looked better than the performance, man. That's no bueno.
Yeah.
It's no good, man. But I do believe Fulton could bounce back. But talk to me, Ty, man. You know, I'm glad you gave that PSA on behalf of Fulton, man. Way to hold it down. Because I believe he could bounce back. And I believe he will.
So, what's your honest opinion on the O'Shock and Shakur stuff?
My honest opinion, man. Me personally, O'Shaquie Foster and Shakur Stevenson. Great question, man. I think I like it. But I don't think that O'Shaquie Foster, I mean, outside of his physical position in the rankings, right? His literal position, I don't really think that Shakur needs to address it, to be honest. And like I said, outside of the position, outside of the, we know him already satisfying his mandatory, having 12 months, like you said, essentially, to because he's fighting T.O. then up to next December. Outside of all that, I still don't think that Shakur really has a reason to entertain it. I would like it selfishly as a fan, but I don't think that, you know, unfortunately for O'Shaquie Foster, there's just, he's not a big enough fish in the pond yet. There's so many other fish that Shakur could fight that are, you know, he gets more bang for his buck. That's my opinion. What you think? But I like it though. I like the back and forth though.
Oh, I always like the back and forth.
Right.
Looking at two people that were close friends.
Right.
Get distant.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple key factors I need to see happen first.
Mm.
First thing is, in order for like O'Shaquie to take this step forward, before he even petition, he got to declare,
Right.
I'm going to 35.
Right.
From there, it's either you got 6 months to a year if your paperwork right.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else is just yap on the internet. This was no different than when he was yapping about it 18 months ago.
Not facts.
So somebody sitting there saying, well, he told him to go fight
Ray Ford.
Ray Savage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's currently a champion at that weight, and that's a guy that's in his rankings.
That's true.
It'd be no different than him calling for Shakur. Because it's not like he's mandated.
That's true. That's true. I would say that Shock, like you say, he's not mandated, so it really doesn't matter. But you know, that interim belt, I would say, I mean, it does mean something. I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying interim belts mean something like as far as champions, but you know, that's what it means, that you should have a shot next. But I agree with you, yeah. As far as that, I mean, at the end of the day, even though he's the interim champion, essentially it's just him being a little higher in the rankings than, let's say, Ray Savage is compared to in regards to O'Shaquie Foster. But yeah, no, I agree with you. That's a good point. It's just like he's in the rankings until that is called. If it's not called, then you're just in the rankings too. And Ray Ford is in the WBC rankings at 130, so that's a good point. I don't remember where he's at though in the rankings, but he's definitely in there. I think he's like top 5.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure, top 5. I don't know exactly what number, but I know it's not 1, but I know it's top 5 for sure.
I know the time frame that he's gonna have to wait.
He's number 3.
For all,
Just looked it up.
Foster could be forced to fight whoever the number 1 contender is.
Uh-oh.
Technically, him being a interim champion, he doesn't hold a rank. He's just a segue guy.
That's a good point. Yep, that's another good point.
Which is the reason why he has to wait a year versus being a number 1 contender, you get 6 months.
Yep. And I think the number 1 guy is, well, I know this, that's Ricardo Nunez. And I think number 2 guy is Javier. No. Yeah, Javier. No. Let me look. I think he was number 3 last time. Yeah, and okay, number 2 is, it's a page back to number 2. And Javier Herrera is number 3. Yep. They must have just changed that because I remember, yeah, they just updated that because I remember number 1 was vacant and the number 2 was Nunez and number 3 was Javier Herrera. Yep. Shout out to our guy B-Dog, big member in the building. What's good, brethren? My guy. That's a good point though, Ty, man. He made some good points for sure, as usual.
I like the fight between Shakur and O'Shock, but I'm not gonna get overzealous, and I'm a realist at the end of the day. To sit here and say there any other option is a duck, as if there's not 3 other champions at 135.
Come on now, Raymond Murataya, IBF.
I understand Tank got what he going on, but it's still two other champions that
Come on
are
now.
possibilities. To sit
WBO
there and
Abdullah
say
Mason.
him fighting either one of them is a duck because you like the Oshaki fight a little more. That's wild.
Yeah, I think that's kind of crazy too. A little too much. And I'm not the biggest Shakur fan, but he's a beast, and I'm always a fan of boxing. He's a boxer. I'm a fan of fairness. I think that's a little much. I agree with you. And I'll be fair too, honest. Even though, like you said, the champions, unifications. You know me, I love unifications. So because of that, but even if it was for the unifications, I think Shakur Stevenson versus Andy Cruz is still a bigger fighter if he beats Murataya, or Shakur Stevenson versus Murataya if he wins, or Abdullah Mason, or like you said, obviously Gervonta Tank Davis too. So, yep, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. What you think about Hitchens though, bro?
Hitchens, put that boy in a gulag. I don't want to hear nothing about him until he either accepts what's being offered to him, or he tell his manager go fix what he got going on, like Tio did.
Yep. Send him to the gulag. Baby. Yeah, Keith Connolly got to go do something, baby. You got to fix it, man. You got to fix it, bro. Or we got to, hold on, let me send him to the gulag for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got to send him, bro. We got to ship him out, B-Dog. If Richardson Hitchens don't want to fight nobody, or he can't fight nobody, we got to ship him out. Got to send him off.
She thought I was going to send her somewhere nice? You're not going to the beach. Bitch, you're going to hell.
We not sending them to the beach. They going to hell. You thought I was going to send you somewhere nice? Oh, man. You're not going to the beach, Hitchens. You going to hell. We sending you straight to hell, bro. Oh, man. If you don't want to fight nobody, bro, give her that belt, man. We send you straight to hell, bro. We done with Hitchens, man. I like Hitchens, man. I'm getting. But I will say this, though. I do think Jermaine Ortiz, I'll be cool with that fight. But it just looked funny that you fighting Tio Scraps, essentially. I don't want to say Scraps because, like I said, Cambosos beat Tio. But your last two opponents are guys that fought Tio. Tio and Jermaine Ortiz was the worst fight I ever seen. Shame on Tio and shame on Jermaine Ortiz. But, yeah, so it's just like, how you going to say Jermaine Ortiz? You going to fight Jermaine Ortiz? Like I said, it's speculation. But how could he be one of the guys that speculated or rumored? But then you talk about Frank Martin and Gary Anton Russell ain't got no name. Like, what are we talking about? Come on, bro.
You're talking about another champion.
Exactly.
Ain't got a name.
Come on, bro.
His family lineage is the reason why more people know him than you.
Come on now.
We keeping it J.
Come on now.
You was with Floyd.
Come on now.
And nobody still didn't know you.
Come on now.
Bruh, you're second generation Haitian and people call you African.
Facts. You ain't even tapping into the Sapase. And you allow it, bro. That's like, come on, bro. You're supposed to be Sapase Nabule. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be like, that's a whole nother mark you could tap into, bro. You know,
it's not going to age well.
What's that?
He said that stuff about Frank Martin, but let's not act like in 13 days this man will be in your raking. Based off of his performance.
Frank
because he did submit his paperwork with the IBF.
Come on now. Frank trying to get him, bro. I always like Frank's energy, man. Whether you talking about Frank and Keyshawn, Frank, that's one thing you can say. Yeah, Frank lost to Tank, but he be going for him. I know people hold the Frank and Shakur, hold the Shakur against them, but hey, if you get more money fighting Tank, then I get that move. But I'm gonna pull up my brother Oscar, man, real quick. I'm gonna keep you in the back if you don't mind, Ty. I'm gonna keep you on.
All right, I'm mute up.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro. Mi hermano Carnal, Oscar Perez in the building, my brother. What's good? From another.
Yo.
What's good, my guy?
You ready for this?
I don't know. Hold on, let me strap it up. Let me tighten up my seatbelt. Strap in my seatbelt. I'm ready. You about to say something crazy, chat?
How cringe is it that a guy that hasn't won a belt is sitting next to Max Kellerman and said both Lamar Roach and Pitbull are B-class fighters,
bro,
or hell, even C-class fighters, when one of them beat the guy that beat you?
Bro, I saw when Ryan Garcia said that nonsense, man. I didn't even watch it. I'm gonna be honest. I usually watch everything. I did not watch that. It was 20 minutes. I watched 2 minutes of it and clicked off. I can't, bro. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. Not for 20 minutes. Maybe like 5 minutes. I could listen to him speak nonsense, but 20 minutes? Nah, I'm good.
Not only that, then they doubled back and said, "Oh, Shakur Fulton was a bad fight, a terrible fight, a boring fight." Well, that was Ryan. Like, bro, these belts, like these guys had belts in their division. You had a whole one. So what the hell are you saying?
Come on now.
Well, for all we know, you're a C-class fighter.
C's being generous.
Racist piece of shit, but I mean that's another thing. But he found Jesus, and I guess Jesus changed his life if he exists. He might be talking about you because, you know, I don't know about that guy. Nah, but there's one thing I want to say. Yeah, he below average. I know that.
Oh man.
He said, and then he said, when I fought Oscar Duarte, I'm like, Duarte been a champion?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Nope.
Pitbull's a champion. You got Pitbull. But yeah, that's just my little rant on Ryan Garcia, Max Kellerman, the sellout.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I just think that show's cash, honestly.
Yeah, I can't watch it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I like Max Kellerman. That hurt my heart because Max Kellerman to me, I know people don't like. I know my boy Todd disagrees, but I always look at Max as one of the best, man. And I just
I disagree with you. I agree with Todd.
Oh, okay, my bad. You disagree with me too, but I always look at like that's my dream team right there, man. HBO, bro. Jim Lampley, Roy Jones, Max Kellerman. You know, that's the squad for me, man. But Jim Lampley came back sounding crazy. Max Kellerman sounding crazy. Roy, he be hit and miss sometimes. He be acting up a little bit, but he mostly
straight. Yeah, he be like, yeah. Man, how you like, what the hell is that? What, like Bill Hagen said, what the fuck is that?
What the does that mean? Yeah, man.
Another thing I want to touch up is something you said, and I think it applies on this fight in particular, and especially with Sean Porter. Like I was watching the podcast and all that today. How is it that Shane Mosley looks so good and all this and that he needs to fight Lara, but then you turn around and say Ramos look mid?
Come on now.
Or he needs to improve when he beat the guy that you said looked good. I don't get that. Like I think you were talking about like what did you say? It's like giving somebody praise and then shitting on the same plate or something like that. Like it's like, bro, like you cannot tell me Shane Mosley looked good and Ramos looked mid when Ramos clearly beat Mosley.
Bro, wait. But you know, like, unfortunately, man, there's, you know, some people just, it's like, I don't know what it's like, you know, I mean, how can I say this? Like, some people see nationality first, some people see complexion first, some people see neighborhood first, some people see promotion first. They don't really focus on what's going on, and I don't even understand why Jesus Ramos didn't look good that fight. I thought he looked good to me. But I will say I like Jesus Ramos too. But I don't have nothing against Shane Mosley either. But I thought it was a clear 8-4 win for Ramos. That's how I scored it. Now, if you want to say if you have expectations of Ramos to be a champion, I don't know if that convinces you of that. But even still, it's still a good fight. Shane Mosley's good. You know what I'm saying? He's not the best, but it's a good win over. Like you said, there was nothing controversial about it, nothing questionable about it. So it's a solid victory. So I don't know. And then at 160, right? That was at 160. So who's really at 160? Yeah. I mean, Janibek just popped dirty. He's a weight bully too. So if he can't have that meldonium in the system, he may not even come back the same. And so you have what?
Meldonium?
Yeah, meldonium. And what else he had in there? PEDs, man. And then you have what? Carlos Adames as a WBC belt holder, Arizona Lara WBA. Hell, the WBO and the IBF might be vacant, man. We'll see what happens with this investigation. So I think Jesus Ramos is a live dog at 160. I just don't know if he's going to stay at 160 or go to 154.
I would like to see him at 154 still.
I would like it too to mix it up at 154 selfishly, but I ain't gonna lie, man. 160 might be the move, man. For Ramos, for Mono, that might be the move, man.
And plus, they're liking a Mexican star there.
Yeah, come on now. There's so many type of reasons for him to make that transition. I see you in the back, Oster. I think that's you. I see you, bro.
And lastly, so you can pull up Oster too, so you can chop it up. But it's like, lastly, what I want to say is like, Lamont Roach and Pitbull fight. I think it was fairly score. I mean, and I got it for Pitbull too. Like, Like, but I think it was the draw was good in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like what Roach said, where it was like, I gotta fight these judges. I'm like, bro, what happens to you is the same thing we complain about Jack Catterall, Boatsy, Arnold Barboza against Tio.
Yep.
Who else? Just had him in mind. But Boatsy, I said Boatsy, Catterall, Barboza against Tio.
Just being very complacent and not fighting with a sense of urgency.
Yes, very complacent. Like, like yes, you outlanded him in the stats, but bro, he had you in the canvas for the first time in your career. What, like
in the early too, in the third,
bro? And then how are you gonna say, yeah, I think I beat him up? Like, you got a gauze on your mouth. This guy's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
At best, he got a headache.
Yeah, man.
At best. But it's like, but no, I think what happened there was like the same thing with Catterall.
Yep.
He got outworked, and whether it was landing clean or not, he was landing more because he was throwing more. And yeah, I think Roach had the better punches. He was connecting better whenever he connected. But then he said he broke his hand. And what round? The fifth.
The fifth, right? Bro, yeah.
Did you realize that I had him 4-0, maybe 3-1, just because it was a swing round?
Bro, I had him 5 going into the 6th. I had Cruz all 5 rounds. He won the first half heavy for me.
So it's like, so if you, man, I think you need to break your hand before you going into a fight because you were fighting better with your broken hand.
Yeah, because I gave to be fair, like Oscar saying, I gave Cruz the 6 through 10 for me. So I gave Roach. Sorry, I said that backwards. Wait. I gave Cruz 1 through 5. I gave Roach 6 through 10, and I gave Cruz the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, and just to close it off is like, do I think Roach is wrong for saying I outboxed him? No, I think he outboxed Pitbull any day of the week. But then also you got to say, and I got complacent and didn't want to push the fight forward, or didn't want to make it. I made it harder for myself for going on the inside, or whatever you want to say.
Right.
You got to take some accountability, man. Like, yeah, Catterall and Boatsy and Callum Smith and I can name you so many other ones.
Yeah, even David, not really. David Morrell be playing around too much, but that's still a sense of complacency, not doing enough too. Even with I thought he clearly beat Imam Katayev, but he started playing around and got dropped. Like he gets he gets too comfortable. Like, bro, you got to finish the job. Something just dropped, don't it?
Yeah, you can't be messing around.
Can't be messing around, bro.
And if all he takes is I won, which I don't think he fought a bad fight. I mean, the first 5 rounds he clearly did. I mean, he clearly did. I mean, there's nothing else to say.
Right.
Am I mad for the point deduction? Yes and no. I think I'm mad that it was because of that, but you didn't give him a warning. You never separated it. It was just point deduction. And no, because people are saying Cruz was throwing too many low blows, which I agree. He was throwing a lot of low blows. Some of them, most of them unintentional, a lot of them intentional. But it's what happened with Espinosa and the elbows. What happened with
Katie Taylor headbutts.
Katie Taylor headbutts. Nick Ball, literally grabbing the guy and throwing him to the ropes.
Yep.
This is Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
But it's to the discretion of the ref. I'm mad at the fact that I'm more mad that people are saying, well, yeah, I'm cool with the points taken away because he was throwing a lot of low blows. The point was not taken away because of low blows. It's because he hit him in the back. So that's the only thing I got.
Yeah, those are good points, man. I wasn't mad at the point deduction, but I actually don't think, I kind of disagree with you. I don't think Pitbull threw any intentional low blows, but some of them were a little low. But like you said, it goes back to
last one at the
at
the 12th round.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. But like you said, though, I mean, intention doesn't matter. It's up to the ref's discretion. So whether you're doing it purposefully or not, whether you're throwing elbows and you're Rafael Espinosa intentionally or not, whether you're holding somebody and punching them like David Benavidez, Anthony Yard, or if you're Anthony Yard, you're holding his hand or not, it's up to the ref. You see what I'm saying? So that's the ref's discretion. So the referee Thought it was appropriate to take 1 point. It is what it is, man. But yeah, let me pull up Oster.
Yeah.
And then if you're still around, bro, I'm going to pull you back up. I'm going to let Oster get his solo. And then I'm going to pull you back up.
All right.
All right, bro. Thank you for calling, man. Shout out to my brother Oscar, man. Yo, shout out to my brother Oster for dropping the gifted subs, coming through, gifted the memberships like Oprah in the hood.
1, 2, 3.
Shout out to my brother Oster, man. I appreciate the 5 gift, bro. Hey, Oster, I'm gonna tell you this for the whole chat. I'm gonna show you. I think we only need, like, with those 5, we needed 13 today, but you know they expire, right? So I think we only need for the new Bud emote to unlock the next emote slot, so we can put Bud on there. We need I think we needed 13, so that would put us at 8 more subs, man. So we need memberships, man. Only $3 a month. You know what I'm saying? That's where it starts at. And it can't all be on Oster or everybody, you know what I'm saying? Hey, $3 a month. That's all it takes, man. Shout out to all the members we have. We need, I believe, 8 more members to unlock another remote slot. And then we will have Bud, I believe, man. I believe so. That's what it said last time on YouTube. But yeah, shout out to my brother Al Booger, big member in the building. Thank you so much, Oster. Oster gifted a membership to G Wall 77, Jermaine Burkett. 2123 gifted a membership to Cyborg Boxing, gifted a membership to Jay Dones and A Tapia, man. Please enjoy those emotes that you get and all the other perks that come with it. You feel me? Like chopping it up in the back of the Discord and all that stuff. And once your membership expires, consider renewing that membership, man. Starting at $3 a month. I appreciate it. Let me pull up my brother Oster right now, man. Shout out to my brother O. I think that's Oster. I can't really tell. Yo. Is this Oster? Yo, oh.
Yeah, it was fine.
Oh, this is Oster.
Really?
Okay, bet. Yeah. I wasn't sure because it looked like you changed your profile or something like that. Because on my screen, it doesn't show the full name for whatever reason. So I couldn't tell it was you. I just saw the O, but then it looked like a different picture. So shout out to you, bro. My guy, man, what's good, man? Appreciate you pulling up.
Popping with you, player?
Yo, hold on before you go, man. Hey, I'm chilling, bro. Thank you. Shout out to Dub, man, coming through, showing the love like Oprah with the gifted memberships.
1, 2, 3.
Let me run it real quick. I got
You think that?
you. Shout out to my guy, Dub and Oster, man. That's 15. That just put us over the top, man. I don't know when they're going to unlock it, but shout out to Dub, shout out to Oster, shout out to everybody that gives memberships, shout out to Al Booger, everybody that gives memberships. I'm just talking about the ones from today, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody that gives memberships, shout out to everybody that's a member. I believe we just unlocked the Bud emote, man. So Dub just gifted to 10 people, man. So please, upon expiration of that of your membership, man, consider renewing that membership. Start at $3 a month. Really helps to contribute to us and the cause and to keep us going and growing, man. Shout out to you, bro. I'm about to pull it up right now and I'm gonna let Oster cook. I know my boy got some stuff to say. You feel me? Oh, Shakur at the gosh dang Shakur at bat. Oh yeah, my boy for the talk. Man. Hold on. Let me show y'all real quick. So it says, okay, I said 13. It said we need 14, but we just got 15, so we should be good. So it says we need 14. Wait, what? Oh no, we got it. There it is right there. We got it, chat. Let's go. We need 14 more to get another emoji. No, we need 25 more members to get another emoji slot, 14. But we are good. We just unlocked it right here. Add another emoji. So we good, man. So I'm gonna add that Bud Crawford emote. That's what we agreed upon, right? After he beat Cinnamon. So we got the Bud emote, man. So, hey, drop in the Discord if there's any pictures that you have in mind. If you don't, I already got one in mind, and then I'll put it up. And you'll see it tomorrow. And not tomorrow, sorry, our next live, good Lord willing, Wednesday. So I'm gonna show y'all right now the one that I have in mind. So y'all can let me know if this is cooler. But like I said, if y'all have one, just drop it in the Discord. And yeah, drop one in the Discord if you have any suggestions. But I have one already in mind made. You feel me? Let me see if I can pull it up and show y'all real quick for the one time. This is the one I have in mind. I was thinking about doing his logo, you know, the little TC logo, which is dope too. But I kind of like his face, the way he looking, bro. He looking like, gotcha. He looking like gotcha, chat. So that's why I like that one. So, but y'all let me know, man. Drop it in the Discord. But shout out to my brother Oster, man. Appreciate your patience, man. Sorry about that, man. So where we starting at, O?
Yes, sir. I like that. I like that one there.
You rock with it? I bet.
My boy up there. My boy Bud up there. That's what we talk about. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Shout out to Budrick, man. Hey, he beat my boy, but you know I rock with Bud, man. The only 2 times I went against Bud was against the True Spence. I was wrong. And then with my boy Cinnamon, and I was wrong, man. Shout out to Bud, man. Dude's a beast, man.
The only 2 worst decisions you made in boxing, Doc. Don't worry about it.
I ain't gonna hold you. That might be the 2 worst, but I'm trying to think of that Spence one was bad, bro. I don't think I picked the wrong. I don't think I've been more wrong with a prediction than that one. I'm trying to think. I probably have. I just gotta think about it. But yeah, that Spence one was bad.
Doc, you kind of sounded like Canelo, Doc.
Nah.
You get to the big fights, you losing.
Chill out. I don't do my boy Cinnamon like that, man. You got my boy messed up. Well, yeah, man. Talk to me, bro. What we looking like, man? They wilding in these streets, man. They got your boy Shakur looking crazy, bro.
Yeah. They gonna do it to Shakur. They was waiting to put Shakur in that position to say he ducking and running. Yep. I duck and run. Do what everybody did to you, Shakur. Duck and run. Do your thing. Yeah, do your 1-2. Go to another weight division. Do your 1-2. If you ask me, because you got your man. That's what I want to talk about. Your man pocket watching. That dude is crazy, man. If we was in the street, if they was in Texas, they would have shot that dude, man. I'm trying to tell you, man.
What you talking about, bro?
Mauricio.
Oh, Mauricio something about, yeah. Oh, yeah, he definitely pocket watching. Yeah, something nasty, man. Too, violating. Facts.
Yeah, that's like a chick, man. You gonna tell him, man, because you got this, I need that.
Don't speak on how they
I would be like, man, I'd have told him come get it. You know what I mean? I'd told him come pick it up. It's at the house right here in the mailbox. Come get it.
Out here pocket watching, man. That's crazy.
Out here pocket watching like you going crazy, man. And yo, you know what the fight will? I like the Roach fight. And yeah, another thing too. Tank, yo, what's up with your boy Tank?
Bro,
why don't you write your man? Why don't you write your boy real quick, Doc?
Bro,
write your boy, man.
Hey, man, hey. I you know I ain't gonna write him, man. He ain't gonna come for me like he be coming for them goofies on Twitter. He ain't gonna come for me like that. But you know, I call it like I see it, bro. I wasn't really feeling that. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I rock with Tank, but I wasn't really feeling the whole explanation with the chick, and then talk about he want Cruz or Roach, man. If he didn't want it, he would have been got both, whichever one. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to hear that, man. Shout out to Tank. I do think he beats Roach and Cruz. You know me, but I ain't trying to hear him. I'm trying to see you back in action. If now you ain't in action, I ain't trying to hear nothing. Little more grip, little less lip. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't trying to hear it, man.
To be honest with you, I see Tank. I ain't gonna hold you. You know, Tank ain't my favorite fighter. I like Tank though. I like because he can box. I like Tank. He got a full package. But I do think if Tank come back right now, he will kick people ass. I ain't gonna hold you with that one. He might come back with a little vengeance. To be honest with you, I probably won't bet against him.
Come on now.
To be honest with you, not right now. But he did play himself though. The boxing guard, I tell you, it's a guard for everything, Doc. For real. You know, you play Madden.
Yeah.
Somebody go Madden. 4, 2, 3. There's a Madden guard. Yeah. I'm about to pick 6 on you and come right back. You think I'm playing with you? You think it's a joke? Yeah. So the boxing guard taught Tank. I'm telling you, taught Tank just now. So the way I see it, Tank, you did the BS. You ain't really want to fight Roach again, not right now. You ain't want to fight Pitbull. You said that right after the fight. I'm talking about you said that like 3 minutes after the fight. That's the first thing he said. You want to rematch? He said, hell no. So we knew that. No, we knew that. That's a fact, though. He said that out of his own mouth. That's a fact. So now we knew that. Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm gonna let you cook, bro. Keep cooking, bro. That's crazy, though.
No, but he said hell no. So anyway, you do this old fiasco. You know, you got your own fiasco going, and you run with the Jake Paul thing. See, this is where the boxing guard come at. See, the boxing guard came in and crushed that.
Yep.
Now you sitting there, your ass out. You know what I mean? You got the outside. Whatever's going on outside, that's your business. But you got that going on. Now inside the ring is looking twisted, and now you want to come back after the fight, and now you want to fight Pitbull and Roach. Yep. I'm saying Tank, all right, Tank. You know what? We're gonna let you cause you Gervonta. We gonna give you that. We gave you the knee and the white ball. We might as well fuck it. We can give you that too. It's all good. Come back and do your thing, man. Come on, man. It's all good, man. It is what it is at this point, Tank. What you say, Doc? At this point, it is what it is, man.
I can't fight you. I can't fight you on this one, bro. Because yeah, you know, I like Gervonta, but I like him for fighting, man. And you know me, how I told you, I feel like he had to fight Roach. That's how I always felt. I still feel like that. I feel like you got to get it back because the only reason not to fight him is because you're worried about losing. That's never a good enough reason for me to have a fighter that I like, or any fighter, not fight somebody. You know, that's part of the game. That's what you signed up for. So Yeah, I mean, he could get away with it, like you said, but I ain't trying to. If you're gonna get away with it, at least be quiet and get away with it. Don't be boisterous and tell me, oh, I'm gonna fight him next, and you ain't fight, bro. You wanted that, you would have got it. Like I said, no, don't get me wrong. Now this is where I have to be fair to him as well. Jake Paul is a bigger bag, so if that's what it was, if you're not really worried about not fighting him, it's just that you wanted to take a little side quest for a bigger, for you know what I'm saying, for more compensation. I can't be mad at that, even though I don't like that fight. I do understand. I mean, that's what AJ's doing right now. That's what anybody else would have done. You know, that's what Edgar Berlanga on there trying to politic for. You know what I'm saying? Jake Paul and whoever else. You know, Canelo was another one of my favorite fighters. Canelo was about to fight him if it wasn't for Turkey, who swooped in and got Bud that fight. Bud was considering fighting him as well afterwards, you know, but he said he couldn't fight until March, and that's why Jake Paul didn't want to wait. So a lot of fighters obviously want to fight Jake Paul, so I get it, but I'm not gonna cap and be like, I like it. I don't want to see Jake Paul versus anybody. Everybody that you tell me Jake Paul is gonna fight, I could think of 5 other people that I'd rather see them fight. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. But you want to go right now?
Jake Paul. It's Jake Paul. I forget Jake Paul. He's just, I don't know what he's doing in boxing. I don't know how he get in the position he in. That's just a mystery to me. But back to the dude Gervonta, back to that guy. That guy come in here right now. Listen to this, Doc, for real. Ain't just like a little pickle. Didn't Gervonta put himself in a pickle?
Yeah.
That's what I call it. I say you put yourself in a pickle because think about it. Roach wanted to fight you with the rematch. That was his fight. That was his set dream fight. Get 2 fights with you back to back. That's a dream fight. You know what I mean? So that was his dream. You took that away. I honestly, let me ask you a question. Do you think Roach want Pitbull next or Gervonta?
Oh, Gervonta.
It's 2 draws back to back.
See, I'm with you off of. Well, I don't know what you're gonna say, but I would say Pitbull off of my get back. But but money. Nah, you gotta go with Gervonta. But you can't. And that's the thing. Unfortunately for Roach, you know I like Lamar Roach too. You know I don't hold it against me. All he did was fight a good fight. I can't bet mad at the man for trying to win. I do say that it's still Gervonta, man. I don't think you can't really turn that down. Nobody from 140 could turn down Gervonta. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just his position. Yeah. It's like Nye Inoue. At 120, nobody at 126 and below could turn down Nye Inoue. No one from 140, I say 147 and below could turn down Tank, and nobody at heavyweight. Hey, look how much people talk about AJ. AJ ain't even a champion. You see what I'm saying? I'm not talking about Jake Paul. I'm talking about like Daniel Dubois was willing to fight him again. Jim Caballero said he wanted AJ. Zhang wants AJ. AJ ain't no champion, but it's just. Hey, they the revenue generation. Yeah, it's the money. So,
but now what I'm saying is this: say if Gervonta and Pitbull. Now let's just say the purses was the same. Let's just say all the money itself was the same.
No, it's interesting.
Let's just say it was the same, and then we just see. I feel that Roach will want Pitbull first. I'm telling you, that's just me. I think he would want Pitbull first, and then he'd go for Gervonta. That's just me. So I want to see how you feel.
No, I agree because I feel like. And it's not. I know people might say it's because I like Gervonta, but I feel like with Gervonta, there's not a clear way to win. There's a clear way to beat Pitbull. Now, can you execute that? You know what I'm saying? I don't think, like you said, I don't think anybody would say that Lamar Roach is not the better boxer. I think everybody would agree that Lamar Roach is a better boxer between him and Pitbull. But so funny. I'm so glad you said that too because I want Oscar. I'm gonna pull back Oscar later when you're done, and we all just gonna chop it up. But you reminded me of something I wanted to tell Oscar when Oscar brought it up. I said this, bro. I don't know if you're in the channel.
You can pull him up.
Okay,
you can pull him up.
Okay, bet. Yeah. Okay, bet. Remember Oster? And I don't know if you were in here, but I said this during the fight. I mean, before the fight. Excuse me. When I made my predictions, I said that Roach is a better boxer than Rayo. And Rayo was able to outbox Pitbull. So I think naturally a lot of people will say, oh yeah, Roach could outbox Pitbull. But I told people to be cautious because Roach is different. It's not about capability. It's about mentality. Rayo went in there, implemented a game plan during practice, during training to outbox Pitbull. He executed a game plan to outbox Pitbull. Roach during the buildup was saying, I'm going to stop Pitbull. He said verbatim, he said, I have 10 different ways to win. And I think I could stop him. So it's not that he couldn't outbox him, which is what he did later on in the fight, but he went in there, wanted to prove a point that he could exchange with him. He got put on his ass in the 3rd round. You see what I'm saying? So that was the difference to me. It wasn't about capability. You know what I'm saying? It was just about the fact that he was too willing to exchange. And that's exactly what he did. Like we predicted.
Yeah, I think that Roach. See, I'm going by. I think Roach mindset was that when he's talking about I'm gonna stop him. I think that he was saying that based on him and Gervonta fight.
Come on now.
Both of their fights with Gervonta.
Come on now.
I'm thinking Roach like, yo, if I stop Pitbull, you get what I'm saying? I'm going really. So
yeah. Tank really got to fight him. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if he'd have really sent the message like, if I stop him, that's why I think he was thirsty to, for the stop. That was one fight I think Roach probably went into for the stoppage.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it backfired.
And got tagged.
Yeah,
it got tagged. And I think, and again with the punch though, Doc, with the punch, it was a good punch. I'm not taking nothing from the punch. It was a clear punch. It was clear. But I think Roach was a little off balance when he was backing up. I think he backed up. He got a little off balance because when he fell, he just put his glove down. He got right back up, so it wasn't like he was out. I think he just caught him with a.
Yeah, he caught him with a good shot. I agree with you.
And Roach was coming in, and Pitbull caught him. Wow! Stop playing.
Stop playing.
It ain't that
you better act right.
It ain't that sweet.
Facts.
It ain't that sweet. Now.
Right.
Not that sweet, Doc. You hear me?
Yep. And unfortunately for Roach, because of what you said, people are, in all reality, if things were different and it wasn't like Tank, whether we like it or not, he was a focal point of this because it looks like Tank's two guys that did well against Tank are fighting, right? So that's what it looks like. But we're not forgetting, but we're not considering the fact that Roach was moving up too. So even though it was a draw, that's still really a good look. But because Pitbull is a guy that we also see as a 135 pounder because he fought Tank at 135, or a guy that could go from 135 140, we kind of forgot, or the fact that Roach was moving up, it lost its significance in this fight. It's not as significant as it would be like if he was fighting T.O. or what I'm saying, somebody that's like a natural or more natural 140. So shout out to Roach for that as well. But I do agree that he kind of, because of that decision, if you would have outboxed him, then he kind of fumbled. You know what I'm saying? Like B-Dog said in the chat, I do think he kind of fumbled with the draw. But at least he knows, Pitbull will give him a rematch. I feel like Pitbull knows Roach will give him a rematch. So you got another fight there. So that's good. But it came at the price of his belt, though, too. Right? Because remember, he doesn't have the WBA belt at 130 anymore. So you got to consider that, too.
And the funny thing about it is that's a hell of a karma that Roach would get a draw from an opponent that took a clear knee and then get a draw when he get that is crazy.
That's crazy.
I know Roach sitting like, come on, man, what's going on, man? Like, is it my skills or is it the PBC? What's going on here, man?
What's so funny about that?
Look at myself in the mirror now, man.
I'm with you on that because it does feel like it's PBC got something against them, but like I said, I'm not mad at Roach or Cruz for feeling like they got robbed, because that's the nature of being in a close fight. You're going to feel like you won. But in my opinion, I don't think it was a robbery. I think even if Roach would have won, I don't think it was a robbery. I had it for Cruz, but I just thought it was a good fight. Could have went either way. Yeah, I thought it was a good fight, bro. I didn't think it was a robbery. Yeah.
That's a good point you just said, because we biased as fuck. We say this about how Roach feel. Cruz got a draw too. How Cruz
you feel me? And you know what? Oster? Not only did he get a draw too, it was a majority to draw. So the one person that didn't call it a draw was in favor of Cruz. So Cruz is the one that could really feel like, as far as the scorecards go. Like I said, I'm not mad at Roach for feeling like you, because like I said, that's the nature of a close fight. You're gonna feel like you won, but I just don't. If you watch the fight and you really watch the fight and you don't have any loyalties or allegiances, to me, it's very hard to say that's a robbery, bro. Especially a robbery for Roach. That might have been you could argue more that was the best outcome for Roach, to be honest, for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I say if somebody would call that fight an actual robbery,
that's crazy.
It'd be on Cruz's side.
You feel me?
It'd be on Cruz's side because he got the knockdown.
Come on now.
Robbery. So it's the same kind of feeling like Roach said. So Tank must have been beating me when he took the knee, even though they ain't counted.
Right.
He must have been beating me at the time because I must have been beating Cruz at the time when I got dropped. I fought my way back to a draw. That's the only way you got to look at it. So if I was Roach, I'd be looking in the mirror like, man, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
What's really going on, man? For real, what's really going on? But
yeah,
I don't know. It was a good fight, though. That was a good fight, man. They should rematch, though. They should rematch.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day.
Thing I will say though is that I hope Roach sees back what he stopped doing and allow Pitbull to do for his own sake. Because if you walk away thinking, "Oh, I know I won, and I'll just do the same thing and beat him and fight my same fight and beat him like that," it ain't gonna work. He has to understand that he got complacent.
I think
The judges are ringside too, so Pitbull just smothering shots or Roach just smothering shots, just hitting on the glove, but rolling with them, they might look like punch.
Yeah.
Yo, there's a good chance that this fight here could completely change the way Roach fight. Not everything.
Like a revelation. Like, okay, bet I'm
like, okay, we got exactly. I'm telling you, like, come on, man. I don't fought the best. I don't fought the one that fought the best. And I got 2 draws. So Roach either gonna be in the mirror pouting, or he get in the gym and he be like, you know what? My next one, I'm knocking out. For real, I'm changing my whole style. For real, I'm not playing this 12-round shit no more.
You gotta change the style. You gotta change that mentality.
I agree.
Yeah, mentality.
I agree.
The first 6 rounds versus how he fought, like 1 through 6 and 7 through 12 is 2 different things.
Talk to him, Ty. Yeah. Two different Roaches.
He actually should have started off with how he approached Cruz with 7 through 12, trying to get in their box, and then you try to fight this guy in spots to keep him up off you. I don't think Cruz let up off the gas. It was more so Roach damaging his hand and saying, "Hey, I need to be smart."
That's a good point too, because he did hurt his hand. Was that
on
5th
top
round?
of that too? If he didn't damage his hand, what you think would have happened if he didn't break his hand?
That's a good question.
You think he'd have took it and won it if he didn't break his hand?
But the funny thing about it, because I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Because Oscar said that too. Ty just basically said that too, and I scored it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because when he hurt his hand, that's when he started fighting better. So I don't know, man. Give me one quick second. Shout out to my brother Unity in the building, man. Big member in the building. Shout out to Unity, man. He said PBC got hella draws this year. They found the cheat code for building fights. Facts. My bad. Go ahead, Ty.
He had that mental note to, hey, let me stick to who I am as a boxer.
Come on now.
Some people get in there trying to be entertaining.
Yep.
Or thinking I could do certain things and it don't work out. If he didn't never damage his hand, he probably would have got stopped.
Ty, I was just thinking that. He might have took too many risks. Like, okay, bet I'm good, and got that 3rd round over again. But I got to give Oscar credit on that too, because what you just said, Ty, Oscar said that before, when we were watching those little training camp videos, when they do like the what do you call it, like the HBO 24/7s and stuff like that. They did that, and Oscar was like, "Doc, do you think that Roach is taking him a little bit too lightly?" And we had that conversation, man. I think that's not that he was necessarily taking it lightly, but I do think he was too focused on trying to make a point and trying to get a, just make a spectacular victory, and maybe even stop him and, make a statement. And he almost got a statement put on his head top, because Pitbull, bro, I like Pitbull, though. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, his fights are exciting, bro. Me, I love that. So yeah, he's one-dimensional, but man, hey, that's hard to deal with. That should sound good.
But Doc, what's funny though?
What's that?
I mean, Pitbull, I could say he was one-dimensional, but Pitbull was throwing some jabs.
You seen him? Okay.
Yeah.
You see the jab, bro?
That's what he caught him.
Hey.
Jab. Wow.
Hey. Bro, he was parrying. I was like, bro,
come on now. You know what's crazy too?
He took his tongue out. I was like, what the
hell? Nah, hold on. Let me play that. Hold on. See, you see, that's your fault, Oscar. Now I gotta play it. Freaky ass Pitbull. Hold on, I got you.
Yeah, I don't know what was Pitbull with that. What did you think about it at that time? I was like, what the fuck?
Freaky ass dog, man. Freaky ass Pitbull, man. But you know what's crazy too? Also, you that day too. Or maybe it was Ty. I mean, not Ty. Sorry, it might have been Kendrick. I don't remember if it was you, Oster, or Kendrick during the fight. Mentioned that you're not sure how you feel about Frank Martin's new style. Was it you, or I think it was you?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh,
I like Frank Martin's fight though.
Okay. Or somebody said like they're not sure how they feel about his style yet, but do you like what he's doing or something like that? Oh, maybe I'm tripping. But
no, I did.
Okay. Yeah, so Frank Martin, speaking of styles, like Ty was saying, I think I like that, man. With Buddy McGirt, and I'm not saying it's gonna work all the time. I'm not sure if I think the jury's still out if he's necessarily a better fighter. But I like when fighters do add more depth and more layers to their fights. Because like as Ty knows, as y'all know, it's like, bro, when you're a star, people gonna have the game plan for you. You know what I'm saying? You may not know them, but they know you. So you gotta add more layers. Like, I think that's a good thing that Frank Martin wasn't looking the same, with the new trainer and stuff like that. Now, would it be good in the long run? I don't know. But Terrence Crawford, he's not undefeated because he fought freaking Yuriorkis Gamboa the same way that he fought Canelo. You see what I'm saying? Like you got to have layers, even if it's just small intricacies that you're adding or taking away, or you know what I'm saying, or your adaptability and stuff. You got to work on different things. Yeah, okay, it was Kendrick. Okay, my fault. Shout out to Kendrick. Yeah, so I actually liked. I went back and watched the Frank Martin. I really liked it, man. I really liked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Frank look good. I don't care what nobody did. Frank look good now. Now if they can play and act like they seen. I seen like what I seen like real sharpening skills. His movements. When you said he's spinning around him, I was like,
come
okay,
on now,
Frank.
You seen him?
I was like, okay, Frank. I said, okay, yeah. I said, okay, I like that. I said, okay, I'm feeling you.
That look good. That look good.
I ain't gonna hold you.
I will say, Rance, I do have to factor in that Rance is 39 and stuff. But like I said, the circumstances, new trainer, coming off your first loss, it was a devastating loss by stoppage.
Long layoff.
Yeah, and a long layoff. I think it was good. Go ahead, Oscar. My fault.
Now, that being said,
what kind of comeback? What kind of comeback would you want to critique? That was like one of the best for somebody that been off that long, who lost the Tank, and same kind of Errol Spence thing, same kind of Devin Haney thing, with the PEDs, same thing.
Yeah, I like it.
He came back and did his thing. He did his thing. He acted like he was in the ring 6 months ago.
I agree.
For real.
I agree.
Yeah,
if you ask me,
that being said,
yep, I agree.
That being said, what could you say to Fulton? Because I had to eat my corn. I'm still eating my corn. But on the replay, man, that boy got 12 of them.
What would I say? I'll let Ty take it over, man. I think that, but what I would say, outside of Ty, I would let Ty take this one. But I would say that, I don't think that it's a bad night, man. It looks bad. You were unprofessional. You came in overweight. Oshiki Foster put belt to ass. But, he was moving up. I know people won't, and they shouldn't feel bad for him. They shouldn't really give it to him because he came in overweight. But he was still moving up. You know what I'm saying? I still got to look at it like that. Even though he missed weight, he was still moving up. And Oshiki Foster's a champion.
I can't get that to him.
You're not going to get to him?
I can't get that to him.
Walk around at 160, huh?
Look, I'm going to pull back the curtain and let y'all know. All these guys are never even an inkling close to they fighting weight. If that man 5'7", he 160 something. Now, when I'm talking about my boy Scooter, man, you was out of shape. You was undisciplined. Your timing was off. And you were slow. You got your ass whipped from round 1 to 12. The tape don't lie. So what you need to do is get in the lab. I understand you got some personal shit going on. Baby mama drama over here.
Yep.
You ate the ham. Niggas over here questioning about your shahadas, even though you not Muslim, but you got Muslim family. You need to tighten up.
That time funny, bro.
You gotta get rid of the outside noises.
Yeah.
Because you was looking like somebody with silk sheets.
Yeah. I will say that. Yeah.
You talked about the transgressions with your family. This was not the time to sit here and have a family reunion in camp. I pass it to whoever else.
I'll take it.
That's why I tell you. Yo, that's why I tell you, dog, when they be talking that I'm going through something. What you should do is not go in the ring. That's what you should do. You should get all that taken care of. Because I don't care about that. Look, listen, you ain't the only one.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Come on now.
And everybody, I'm going through some shit too. You talking about, I'm going through some shit too. Everybody's going through some shit. I still watch your fights, right? So, for real, it's enough of that. Yeah. You can't talk shit on the media and then talk about I'm going through something. You can't do all
part right there. That part.
You can't do all that, man. Come on, man. You want us to sit here and you want us to argue with each other for you. We're not doing that no more.
No, sir.
We ain't doing that no more.
No, sir. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He was talking big stuff on Gilly and Wallow's joint. Which I understand you're supposed to talk. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to talk, but hey, man, you got to back it up, though, bruh.
At some point.
Not only that, he was like, you feel sorry for this man. Everybody has hard life. And then the moment you lose, you don't know what I'm going through. I'm sorry. Like, that just looks weak. It's kind of like Prograde with Devin Haney. The man's he's a white bully, bro. You can just as heavy as him, so I don't want to hear that.
I agree with that. Now, that's a good point because I don't get me wrong. I do think I don't mind it being a talking point, but not from you. You said like that's why I rock with Cinnamon. That's why I rock with Errol Spence. I'm not saying that that the Errol Spence you couldn't consider those things, of course, but I don't want to hear from Errol Spence. Let me talk about the accident, or let me talk about how you have an eye cataract surgery or whatever. You have an injury, a lingering injury. I'll talk about that. But shout out to Errol Spence. He didn't make no excuses. Shout out to Canelo. He didn't make no excuses with Terrence Crawford. I rock with that, man. And to be fair, when since Fulton said that stuff about not knowing what he's going through, he did congratulate Oshiki Foster afterwards and stuff like that. But that's all I want to hear, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let us talk about that stuff, bro. You know, it just looks kind of it looks weak. Not kind of, it is weak. I ain't gonna say look, it is weak. Like Oster said, don't sign up for the fight. Pull out the fight. Whatever you gotta do. That's gonna look weak too, but hey, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You can't have everything now. You can't have everything, bro.
Hey Doc, you already coming here overweight, so you can pull out. You already overweight.
You feel me?
Ain't like you ready anyway. You know what I mean? So I don't give them. Nah, look, especially when you come with that overweight stuff, like you ain't getting nothing else after that.
That was trash.
Yeah, after that overweight, you ain't getting nothing. You could be overweight, so you telling me you're overweight. You got girl problems, family problems, all this. As a manager and fighter, I mean, as a manager and whatever I got going on with you, I am not, homie. Listen, you're not going in that ring. You ain't fucking my money up.
Come on now.
No, you're not going to that ring right now because you're about to go in there and lose straight up. You sound just like all the other losers that said the same thing. You sound just like them, man.
Fight, he really ain't have a choice.
At what point?
The minute they gave a date to this, he didn't have a choice.
The December 6th date or all the dates? Remember, it was like 3-4 dates now.
They pushed this back so many times. Right. And they finally finalized it.
Yeah,
if he would have pulled out, they'd have shelved his ass.
Yeah, I bet. I bet that makes sense though, because remember they're supposed to fight when the original day was like October, I think. I don't remember now.
It's supposed to be on Tank Roach.
Not to hold you, Doc. If he came
in August, it was.
They were signed
originally, yeah.
And everybody on that card got gulag because
that's
somebody
a fact.
wanted to go do some other shit.
Because Tank ain't wanted. Yeah, they're supposed to be on the Tank Roach rematch. That's a fact. Says, oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. And then October was another date too, because that was on the Fedora joint, right? Fedora Thurman. If I'm go ahead, Oster. Sorry.
No. I was laughing at what Ty was saying.
Oh yeah, nah, he's right though. Tank got there moving everybody's schedule. That's crazy. They're talking trash while doing.
But
Tank.
No, we knew about this fight for like a long time, even before it was announced.
Yep.
I remember us talking about it.
Yep.
Even though if he could came in there, I believe he could came in there fully fledged. I think Oshie still was beating him.
Bro.
I said.
Hey, Foster, man. Hold on. Oh, I gotta pull your card. Hold on now. Did you tell me not to pick Foster?
No.
Okay.
No. I always said, y'all go with Oshie because he know how to win.
Okay. My bad. I might be thinking about the Haney and the Norman one where you.
I don't know about knowing how to win, but he did his thing.
He did his thing. We gotta give old Shock Foster some love.
It's hard to complain about hardship knowing this dude's 6 or 7 years removed from being on a level 4 yard up there in Texas.
Yeah,
doing hard time.
Yep, shout out to him, man. Bro, people be talking too much trash. Somebody said something about I don't remember what they said, so I can't repeat it, but said something about Oshiki Foster being ugly. So I don't remember what they said, bro. So like something like gremlin or something. Bro, people crazy, bro.
Ugly.
Yeah. It was fun. Yeah, ugly. Yeah, it was just funny.
Was that a dude or a girl?
You know it was a dude. Bro. Hey, exactly. Why does that matter? But I ain't gonna lie, it was funny though what they said. I can't remember what they said, bro. It was funny though.
So Doc, so Doc, so you telling me that you looking at boxing to find a cute boxer? What's up with you?
Come on now. Exactly. That's what I be, bro. I be thinking the same stuff. Like, why does that even matter, bro? Bro, but I can't remember what he said, but it was funny though. It was on it was after he won. Go ahead.
It's some weird motherfuckers.
They weird, bro. They weird.
Since I'm over here pulling the curtain back, my boy went out there, had a shit show. He got his ass whipped, and he fumbled another bag. Since Gary Russell was already there, he was supposed to jump in that motherfucking ring. Since it ain't gonna be folding in him, how about he fight Shop? because
I
he ain't
don't think
gonna be
that person.
nowhere near Shakur for another 11 months.
He was there too. Yeah, you're right.
Talking about somebody that's gonna be placed in the WBC rankings in what 13 days.
That's an interesting fight, man. Hey, 2026, good Lord willing. I gotta do the BTF. Excuse me, sorry. I gotta do the BTF rewards too, man. I was trying to wait till I'm gonna do it before. Because Oscar made a good point that the only thing that can really be added to it from that card, that now Inoue card, is upset of the year if Inoue loses. That's really it.
Or Junto.
Yeah, Junto too. Yep. But yeah,
What you
Ty,
talking
you're
about?
right though, Ty. That joke is interesting, man.
That's what PBC plan was.
That's some interesting.
It's gonna line up one of their guys with Shakur.
Yeah, you're right. That's interesting. That is interesting. I didn't think about that.
They said
Psych your mind.
They paid Mauricio the extra money to get that interim belt put on the line.
Yeah, that I know. That I knew. But he still shouldn't have proved it.
Dang. I think they about to. I think they about to get rid of. I think WBC about to have a bad year.
Man, I've been thinking that too, man.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so too. But they gonna make that money though, because especially if Wilder and Usyk fight it, they gonna make that cheese. they gonna get that money back. But yeah, I think it. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm gonna report it. I'm gonna disseminate the news as accurately as possible. But I still would rather the WBC, IBF, WBA, WBO than that Zuffa shit. But I don't know. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the IBF, man. Like people like Chris Mannix and the whole DAZN team just really shit on the IBF.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, those are the only ones upholding the rules.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You said the only one doing what?
Upholding
the rules.
Mm-hmm.
They stripped Canelo, they stripped Bud, they stripped Puma Martinez, they stripped
Usyk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they stripped Usyk. Usyk didn't make it out the ring.
Yeah, that was wild. I didn't like that strip. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like that one. I was like, guys, hey,
work was not their own time.
Wasn't their own time, bro.
4 p.m. Yo, shit better be there. 3:59.
You feel me? Remember they was about to strip Lomachenko too, right in the operating room. They said you better give me that documentation. What you say? Your back? I need to see it, bro. Let me get that documentation.
Bibble better be every match.
Yep. Michael Eifert might interfere with that. Yep. IBF. But fellas, man, I'm about to go ahead and call it, bro.
All right.
Call it, man. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate y'all rocking as always, man, for sure, man. Appreciate y'all calling up, man. We're gonna start with man.
Yo, Doc,
go ahead and get us up out of here, bro.
No, before you leave real quick, Doc,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we got I think we have Ty and Tufo finna line it up. I think so. I didn't check the schedule yet, but I think so. Okay. And if anybody else want to get on,
you know the date?
No, I didn't look at it. Yeah, let me see right now. See if I can find it. Okay. Ty said he's free whenever. He said he's whenever. Late show slot. So we'll see what Tufo talking about. But tell me something good, so we can get up out of here.
Okay. What I got good? Yeah. I'm on Maurice. I call him Maurice. I don't call him Susie or whatever that is. I call him Maurice. Sound like a Maurice type of dude. You know what I mean? But you gotta stop that, man. But I'm glad though. But I'm glad that he did that because he tried CrossFit. I'm glad he did that. You know what I mean? Because it exposed him. On the real side, it exposed him. And I hope other boxers, I swear to God, I hope other boxers is picking up on it. Because he ain't doing it just one person. He might be doing this all under the thing. But I hope other boxers picking up on it and you know, and really get those fucking sanction fees out. I don't think you should pay a sanction fee anyway. I think you should pay one. You understand what I mean? You can pay for your belt or whatever it is, but all that paying for the belt.
Every fight and all that stuff.
I don't understand that. You know, and not for nothing. I just learned that it was a non-profit organization. I didn't know that, Doc.
Yeah. With the air quotes, non-profit organization with the air quotes.
Yeah, you call me stupid. I don't know about boxing, but I didn't.
No, you ain't stupid for that.
But with knowing that, I know they on some bullshit. With knowing that, I know it.
I know.
Bro, that's
Yeah, I do
he said
know.
that's how they fly out fighters and they eat caviar.
Yeah.
See, because when Crawford, if you peep what Crawford said, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you people talk, because I be listening to people and what they say, you gotta really listen to them. Because people talk in segments. You know, they be mad sometimes. Sometimes they be making statements. Sometimes they be talking out their ass. It all be in one conversation. You know what I mean? But when Crawford was like, "Yo, man, look, we send them that money, man, and they sit up in these hotels and get all these food and all this and all that." He was explaining like, "This is BS. This is some bull. This is like extra money for them. This is bullshit. You know what I mean? It's straight up BS." And De La Hoya said the same thing 2 years ago, but De La Hoya acting like he ain't say that. He want to act like Crawford is wrong now. The lawyer got caught twice with that same shit when he's talking about the boxers and the fighters like he wasn't a fighter.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you're doing the same thing with the sanctioning bodies talking about you said out your mouth, De La Hoya, that you can go to the Dollar Tree and buy a belt. You said that out your mouth. For real. You said it out your mouth, De La Hoya, for real. And now you're acting like Crawford is doing something wrong because you're on the promotional side. This is just BS in boxing. That's all. That's what I want to say.
That's all it is, bro. BS in boxing, man. Shout out to my brother Oscar, man. Go ahead, cook, man.
All right. On my closing statement, I just like how Sean Porter just keeps snitching himself on like the guys that he ducked. And like the funniest thing is that he don't even realize it. He's like, you know, Laura, we always do what Laura can do, but Laura's my kryptonite, so I didn't do it. But somebody told my pops to do it, not to fight Laura, to stay at 154. Because if I go up and fight him, it would be game over. I just love how people just snitch on himself.
Snitching on
Aside from that,
that is not gangster.
Nah, that's not gangster. That is not. And just, yeah, shout out to him. But I like him as a fighter. I like some things that he does. I don't really like how he half steps on his takes. If Lamar Roach beats him, he wins. If Pitbull beats him, Pitbull beats him, Pitbull wins. I don't like that, but shout out to him. It's working for him. Can't really be mad at the hustle. Aside from that, I guess the only thing I gotta say is Shakur Stevenson in 12. Tio kisses that canvas. And the fight gets a stoppage at the 12 because how bad TOI is gonna be.
Come on now.
I agree with that. No, to be honest with you, Doc, I don't agree with shit with that fight until Tio get in the ring. He could trip walking down the thing. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you.
He could trip. He could pull a Ben Whitaker. He could trip it like I broke my leg. Oh, okay, I hear you. All right.
Right.
Oh, one more thing before you pass it out to Ty.
Yes, sir.
I don't agree with Shakur saying that he top 5 if he beats Tio. And I do agree that he didn't mean to disrespectfully, but whenever you say put it NOAB, it's not so much about who you beat, it's also the accolades.
Facts.
You said you don't agree he top 5 in what perspective?
No, like how he said it, because he was like, all right, who's top 4? And because they were like, who's top 3? Usyk or Bud, Usyk, anyway. And number 4, he's like, I will put Bam. And then he was like, all right, no disrespect, but who did Bam and NOAB? It's not just so about who you beat, it's also about the accolades that you achieve.
I mean,
that's what I think.
I mean,
NOAB don't air. I mean, unless you don't watch the.
I can't really argue what he's saying. I know we could switch to the accolades, but I can't argue about what he said in particular. Just that, I can't have too much of an argument about it until you bring in accolades and all that. Then that's.
I mean, Donaire is a better win than Tio, and to me.
But when I say about accolades, some people say. It depends on who you're talking about, because like Doc just said, you ain't got to be good to be a champion. It's just a fact. You know what I mean? It's just one of those type of things. So
yeah, but you got to be good to be undisputed twice, or to hold the ring bell.
Oh, to hold the ring bell, yeah, that's a different kind of champion. But you can get email one of those belts too. Not a ring belt, but
No, undisputed and ring bell.
Email one today.
That's a fact, man. But shoot, let Ty get us up out of here though. But I do see what y'all saying though. But I think I agree with Osman. I do like the accolades, man. I do think they matter, man. Yeah, that's just me though. I don't know. Maybe I overemphasize it, but I like him. Go ahead, Ty.
So statement.
Please.
Sean Porter a hoe.
I wasn't expecting
Thank you.
that.
You already know why.
Yeah, I do.
It just seems like he has a knack. I understand you want to do the entertainment stuff, but he has a knack for basically kicking the back of current gen fighters for all of the things he's done. I don't ever want to hear Sean Porter come out here with them fat ass suits on. Bray's not done talking about somebody being a weight book. Bro, you fought at 47 and you was really you really was a 68, 75 guy.
Fact.
But you'll sit here and talk about Benavidez. But you'll sit here and talk about a Devin. You'll sit here question guys that just started their career. You know they're young. So you can squeeze down to a certain division and then gradually come up. You stayed at 40 and 47 as a guy who walks around at 187 pounds. You talked about black fighters working with Snack as if you wasn't the first one to work with Victor Conti.
Numero uno.
It seemed like once people get a job or they up in the front office or in front of a camera, they try to act like something that they wasn't. What they wasn't. I can't even say it right. What they used to be.
Right.
Whether it be Bernard Hopkins calling Devin out about suing another fighter as if he hasn't sued every promoter he's worked with in 2 fighters. Like Oster brought up with Oscar De La Hoya. You was on that civil rights stuff with the more empowerment to the boxers, but ever since you've been the promoter, you've been working against the fighters after you, stripping them of every right, not paying them properly, finding loopholes to sit here and shelf people. But you stole fighters. But the one thing you complain about is, oh, this one promoter took half of my roster and went to PBC. I'ma sue him.
Facts.
And I'm gonna end my little rant with this. 2-4. I don't know why you keep on calling my name. You're keeping it G. You don't lose against the champion, and then automatically just get a rematch, and you not ranked.
He ain't even ranked.
You talking about you getting ducked, this, that, and the third. I don't know who your manager is. I don't know if it's Keith Conley or wherever the fuck Virgil Ortiz got.
Rick Mariano.
Contract after contract. Go jump in that the members joint, punching your time, and you still ain't there.
Damn.
Hey, yo, Ty and Doc, I'm out. Can I pull a Maurice for the squabble? Can I be the one that make the belts and get my little
That's crazy.
one like for your belt? And whenever you want to come back up here to represent the belt,
I'm down for it. I'm down for it, man.
We need 3 more people to open up their little belt. Cause I got the first belt company, so you can't open up. I'm gonna name my belt. I'm gonna get my little 3 letters and all my increment. I'm gonna get all that later on. But I'm gonna have the belt, Ty. You hear me? I need 1 like every time Doc come on. If you got my belt, you hear me?
I feel that.
Hey Doc. Hey, yo, Doc. Hey, Ty. If you beat somebody too bad, I need 2 likes because you did too good. My name is Maurice. Now remember that.
With all due respect, Oster, I'm only wearing the DBT belt.
Come on now.
The DBT belt. So you're
That's
not.
what I'm talking about.
So you ain't gonna squabble for my belt. You not
Come
gonna
on
squabble
now.
for my belt.
That's what I'm talking about, Ty.
Nah, that ain't sanctioned over here.
You feel me? We ain't doing no
I'm
switching. We ain't doing no switching.
I'm about to make my belt prestige. Why? You won't want my belt. You won't want to wear my belt.
Nah, bro, we don't recognize that belt over here, man. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't fight for no. Ty said, I don't fight for no IBO.
You feel me? We ain't got no IBO, no NABO. What is that? No Commonwealth? What are you talking about, man?
Yo, Doc, you know it's cool when you go to graduate from your college, but I ain't going to that college. Why? Because they ain't recognized nowhere.
You feel me?
From there for no reason.
They ain't accredited. They ain't accredited. They ain't prestigious. You feel me?
Go to the dollar store to get a job with
Man,
this
y'all
fucking
crazy,
degree.
man. Y'all crazy. Well, fellas, man, I appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Y'all gonna kick it in the back. I'm finna go handle some things, man. All right, man. I appreciate y'all boys, man. For real. We'll catch y'all
You staying on? Oscar and Doc. I mean, it's Oscar.
Chat, man, appreciate y'all rocking. I know it's a little longer than I usually do, you know. Well, I ain't gonna say longer than I usually do, but I've been trying to actively do 2-hour shows as opposed to more, because I feel like the playbacks are more digestible. But man, we was chopping it up on this, so we had a lot to talk about. You feel me? So I appreciate that. Shout out to Oscar Perez for pulling up in the Discord on the panel. Shout out to my brother Oster pulling up, man. We had some good conversations. Shout out to my brother Ty. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all got to take the belt away from him, man. He's the champ right now, man. Shout out to all the members, man. We have a new emote. That's crazy. We are really going and growing, chat. So shout out to Oster and Dub for getting us over the hump. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody that contributed from either being a member or gifting memberships or both. You know what I'm saying? That really keeps us going. But let's run through it, man. We had Marvelous Tracks with the $5. Appreciate you, my brother. Ty with the $10. Ty with another $10. Ty with another $5. Ty with another $5. Ty with another $5, man. I appreciate that, man. He coming through like boss. Shout out to my brother Oster with the 5 gifted memberships, and shout out to my brother Dub with the 10 gifted, man. I'm gonna catch you on the flip side. You know, we go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the morning show, and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then you know we go live for the live fights, bring you that exceptional, educated, unbiased, accurate, and enthused boxing commentary for every single fight, whether it's a Saturday, you know, or Tuesday in Japan, Saturday in America, Riyadh, UK, you know what I'm saying? Tuesday in Nigeria, wherever it's at, we gonna be there, man. Wednesday in Australia, we are there, baby. That's what we do. We really rock with boxing over here. And I appreciate y'all rocking as always, man, whether you're a casual, a purist, or somewhere in between. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy. Don't forget to smack that like button, but most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.